to split-second sparks that changed the course of esports history. And inspire future generations to find their own flash of brilliance. This is where we live. This is the art of greatness.
Champ sama mampir. Ngapain, Cok? Belajar matmem nggak usah.
I'm just gonna say it. That's got to be the greatest
Apa
teaser
itu
trailer
matmem?
I've ever seen, like in anything.
Tidak
Period. Full
perlu.
stop.
It's actually just
It's insane.
unreal. It's unreal. Like, can I just live in the metaverse created by those editors? Like, I just want to live in that place. It's so insane.
As you were vibing over there, I was sitting here and I was like, yeah, I'm getting down to all of this. I felt like I was really there, part of it. Damn, they were on top of that. My goodness, you're right. It has to be in my top 2 for sure.
That's the best one, Jess.
I mean, look,
that's the best one.
You know what?
Has
That is
to be the best
incredible.
one.
that you know what? All right, I can be convinced. I'm convinced.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
put it in
also,
the top one.
but it's the sets from the music video "Die for You." Like they're in the
Yes.
Sage set, in the Brimstone
Yeah.
set. It's insane. But yeah, I mean, production editors, if you want to put me and Sean in that video, all you have to do is ask. Yeah,
Well,
we'll
they
be there
put-
in a heartbeat.
They put Bala's match history in there. The red background.
Oh,
Yeah, they got Bala.
Sean, you can't do that to the man. He's not
No?
even here to defend
Yeah.
himself.
No.
Well, he deserves this.
I mean, all I want to say is that I outfragged you in our pug. But anyway, it's time for us to move on to the maps for today. We were theorizing about Fracture. It is the new map here, added into the map pool. I would love to see it, and Sean, I know you would as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the strategic teams like your Fanatics, like your Vision Strikers have to say on Fracture. What do they look like on the map? What does their comps look like? We don't know yet. We don't know what's going to happen. Also, I mean, coming out of Masters Berlinians, we saw a lot of Breeze bans coming out.
Yeah.
Breeze was the new map. Well, now you have
Ada
two
Fracture kan?
choices, Fracture and Breeze.
Yeah.
So all the teams here have to make the choice. Which one do we want to play, or both? Do we want to play both of these new maps?
I really don't think, and I'm just going to put it out there really quickly, that there are going to be teams, especially like Full Sense, that maybe aren't as strategic as Vision Strikers who are going to take that risk. You're better off getting that out of your map pool consistently, going to what you know, rather than trying to counterban your opponent, knowing full well that they might be ready on Fracture and you yourself are not.
I mean, Stacks also after the press... There we go. I mean, after the press conference yesterday where he said that Fracture is one of their best maps, Jess,
There you go.
it's not too surprising for Full Sense to ban it.
If Full Sense didn't get rid of Fracture, I would have been a little bit concerned because I had not seen an inkling of them going to Fracture, but Ascent going out as well. Do you want to know why? That's one of Full Sense's best maps, and that's called a counterban.
Yeah, that's going right into the teeth of the Full Sense map vetoes, right? So they take Ascent out, and look at that, Full Sense taking Haven. I mean, that's a pretty solid. What map isn't solid for Vision Strikers, to be honest? But I love watching Full Sense on this map. I think the initiator play is great on Haven.
And not only that, Full Sense, this is their most played map in this roster ever. So they are going to a map that they are highly familiar with. They themselves know that if there was a map that they should know inside and out, and maybe you can play a bit more flexible, it's going to be Haven.
I'm interested to see what Vision Strikers pick it because they left Breeze open as well. So I'm assuming they'll ban that next time because they banned Breeze a couple of times here at Masters 3 and they've only ever played on air. Oh, okay. Vision Strikers have picked Breeze, Sean. A map where they previously banned.
It's pretty insane. And this is one of those things that I talked about coming into the veto. They play Fracture apparently, and they picked Breeze. That is terrifying if you're a team playing against them because that means you have to be adequate on both of those maps because they're just going to pick the opposite one every time. So this is such a power play early in this tournament from Vision Strikers. I love it. I love this.
I'm going to make a speculation here in that not only have they counterbanned here and they've gone, this is your best map, let's get rid of it, but also let's pick a map that in recent times you've actually done really bad on. Go to Breeze. We've only played it once in recent terms, and well, whilst we won it, I mean, what doesn't Vision Strikers usually win? And let's go to the map that you're not going to be confident on. I like this. This is a complete counter look into the map veto here for Vision Strikers.
Okay. Well, as you guys can see, Icebox is the one we're going to go to last. Jess, I feel like Vision Strikers might have maybe slightly won the vetoes.
Oh,
this is scary.
The fact that you couldn't get rid of Icebox early enough from Full Sense meant that you were inevitably going to have to go there, but to a map that I can just see Vision Strikers, should they even get to that map, needing to just bowl over Full Sense. I'm not sure if Sean agrees with me here, but this map veto is looking really hot here outside of the Breeze.
Yeah, on the surface level, it looks like it's going heavily in the favor of Vision Strikers. But the reason why I think Icebox would be floated as the third map is because Full Sense thought that Vision Strikers would probably pick the map. So they heavily prepared for it. They did all of the prep work responsible for playing this map in the series. So when it came as an option to ban Bind or Icebox, they probably, sided towards the preparation map, which is Icebox. Unfortunately, Vision Strikers is insane on Icebox.
I mean, they are insane on pretty much every map, it feels like. But with the maps locked in, we'll be taking a quick break here. On the other side, however, we've got Game 1 of VCT Champions.
Thanks, officer.
Absen bang. Ada Naruto. Ada Sasuke. Kamu belajar biar besok aku bisa nyontek. Kalau kamu tidak belajar, aku nyontek sama siapa?
Thanks, officer.
Stay low key.
Now, the vetoes are in. We know we're going to be going to Haven first. We also know that Full Sense, they like to do some funky, fresh things, you know, with their comps and their agents. But they have played KO here in the past. Would you like to see them bring out the KO?
I would, but I really like when they run a breach and other initiators as well. I think they need the initiators to shut down Buzz, though. I think Buzz needs to be shut down on Haven.
You know what? If you're targeting singular players on the side of Vision Strikers, you're kind of going in the wrong direction, because Vision Strikers, like, well, we have Buzz, but we also have a multiplicity of other players on the roster who are just waiting behind. It's like when you go through the first boss and there's like 4 other bosses behind. That's Vision Strikers right now. So I would like to see them target through their utility. I don't think, based off their win conditions that I've gone through, that 90% of the time they actually even go for the objective base. They mostly win through elimination, which worries me considerably, because Vision Strikers, they might be strategic, but they damn know how to shoot as well.
I mean, since stage 2, Vision Strikers, they've lost 1 time here. So how much would you like to see them change things up, or you just don't fix what's not broken?
Yeah, exactly. Do not change if it is not broke. I know there's 100 different sayings for it. In Australia, we also have like 15, so shout out to my Aussie friends out there who know them, but don't change anything. And this is not the most formidable opponent as well, so think about your future games.
Yes.
Back when I was a coach, I would tell players, don't pull out the pocket strat unless you're desperate in the moment and you got to win the map. Don't pull it out.
Well, sorry, Sean, gonna have to cut you off there, but because the stage is ready, the players are set, this is it. Guys, let's get this party started and meet Vision Strikers and Full Sense. Well, this is it, the start of the group of death here at VCT Champions. But as you guys can see, no lack here on the stage. Not expected on this map, Sean, but hopefully we'll see him maybe on the next two.
Yeah, maybe they'll sub him in at some point throughout this series. I mean, we did get the preview with him in the roster, so I think we will see him at some point in this series. But oh my god, the gold into my eyes. I'm just seeing gold. I'm feeling gold. Everything. It's so pretty. I love it.
My god, I feel like it's like an Olympics vibe. It's like, what's the first place on the podium? Yeah, you got to wear the gold. That's where we're at. We're getting world championships, baby.
Oh, we are indeed, but I'm not sure if you guys at home can hear the energy and feel how hyped both of these teams are. But we talk about expectations and pressure, but Jess, is pretty much one team that's expected to maybe even make the finals of this entire tournament, and another one who don't have that pressure, who are just here to show everybody what they can do.
That is a scary opponent. When they come in, they go, we're just happy to be here. We'll see the results that we can put up on the board. Full Sense can do that. They're also the Korean Slayers, so I do think Vision Strikers has a fierce opponent. I hope they haven't come in and underestimated an Onion Slayers, so I do
than that, and even greater than that in my eyes, especially when we remember what Paper Rex did to Vision Strikers. Going back to that Haven game, they pushed them to the limit in that series. So I think Full Sense can, run it back and do the same thing. But Vision Strikers, man, they are just forever evolving, and I think if Full Sense wants to have that success, it's going to have to come in different ways.
And it's not even that. Look at Vision Strikers. I know both teams are incredibly young. How do you get that experience to sit in a LAN environment across from each other and know full well that you can't crack under pressure? You need to keep everything cool, calm, and collected. And there might be some sharp words coming from across the room in certain rounds. So you got to be ready to deflect those.
Yeah, I mean, Vision Strikers have a lot of energy whenever they're on stage. But let's talk about Haven. Full Sense's pick. Do you both feel like this is a must win for them if they want to take down Vision Strikers? Like they don't want to go to the map 3?
I mean, if you go to map 3 of Icebox and like you manage to get it there, I'm surprised to begin with. But I also think that that is a map that if Vision Strikers lose, that would tell the story for me for their entire tournament beyond. You don't lose on Icebox, so I don't even see it making that far. And if it does, I see VS on the board.
Look at that map.
It's gold.
It's so amazing. But yeah, I think they need this map.
Absolutely.
I can't see them losing this map and then stealing Breeze and Icebox back to back against Vision. It's just not going to happen, right? So this is where Full Sense needs to come into this series, and they can't start slow. They absolutely have to hit the ground running.
I mean, we spoke about the versatility of PTC, but the rest of the team as well, Sean, it feels like they can basically play anything or any comp, and everybody steps up, whether it's duelists, initiators, whatever. They can do it all. So how much do you think that's going to come into play today? How important is that?
Well, I think John Olsen and PTC are the players to watch. And something that really alarmed me in the interview was the fact that they're like, Superbus is our controller player, which means he's the most aggressive player on our team. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit of a different philosophy than the ones that I normally hear. I mean, I can respect it. That's what got them here, but that is a very different play style than some of the more successful teams at this tournament.
It's hard to counter them as well if you're Vision Strikers and you come in being a very strategic team, probably used to countering in some way, shape or form. And I mean, I have multiple players on the side of Full Sense playing Jet. I got John Olsen, PTC, Superbus has played Jet as well in the recent history. I mean, whatever they lock in, it's going to be John Olsen
this
on
is
the Jet this time.
Very quick Prime Gaming Ages that lock in, but on the side of Vision Strikers, they haven't changed anything. Like you guys said, they don't need to. But Sean, what do you make of the team composition for Full Sense?
I love it. I love both these comps. The fact that we get Breach versus Breach on Haven, this is something that just doesn't happen in NA. This is such a treat for me to be able to watch this match. I love it. The double initiator from Full Sense, I mentioned how they're going to need that to shut down Buzz on this Jet roll. I think that is the matchup I'm looking for. The initiators versus Buzz. Can they push him off the angles?
Well, I want to see how John Olsen does making the space for Full Sense, because if they are relying on that win condition of elimination 9 times out of 10, they're not getting on their attacking side, especially not getting the objective down most of the time, then that just means their space makers are going to have to make a heck of a lot of space and do it really early into the round.
Well, I'm going to ask you guys the hard question here. Predictions. Who do you think is taking not just this map, but the entire series?
Vision Strikers.
Vision Strikers 2-0 in the series, but if they lose that Breeze map, my entire philosophy on them in this tournament changes. So they
Okay.
need to win 2-0.
Okay, why? Just really quickly, I want to know why.
Breeze is a very aim-based map, and I think proving that they can just out-aim one of the aim-based teams at this tournament would be massive, for my perception of them.
Do you have the similar faith in the 2-0 towards Vision Strikers?
Absolutely, absolutely. And even if it was to make it to Icebox, I really don't see Full Sense being able to pull that away from Vision Strikers in any capacity, really, at least on paper. I mean, we could be totally wrong. Full Sense could have a ton of things up their sleeves, but I think it would be irresponsible for me to sit here and say, on paper, Full Sense has a good chance at this.
I mean, I have to play devil's advocate and
Go
be like, come on, boys, you got this. They didn't beat every good Korean team at LCQ.
Go ahead, do it.
Maybe they've got it cracked. They know how to beat the Korean teams. Who knows? I mean, there's no other team I feel like have had that level of success. When you look at the game, teams like Newton and Damwon, like this team, they might know what they're doing here. But I do want to ask you, Jess and Sean as well. What is the one thing that you want to see from Full Sense? Even if they don't come out here winning, what do you want to make sure they get right?
I want to see them adapt. If they're not a team that is super strategic and they know themselves they're consistently relying on eliminations, even on their attack, I want to see them look at the rounds they're losing and go, if this isn't working, let's stop repeating it. That is the definition of insanity. We need to change something up. I hope they have something in their back pocket, because if you bring in the breach, I want to see some combinations of utility that is going to disrupt a very cohesive Vision Strikers.
Yeah, for me, that's a very good one. But for me, I think playing a team like Vision Strikers, you're going to fall into trap plays a lot. In 5 versus 5 scenarios, one of your players is going to get picked off in some weird way. How do you respond from that moment? Do you shell up and become really passive and then just kind of, like limp into a site at the last second and just get slaughtered? That is what I do not want to see. I want to see decisive plays out of Full Sense, very fast adaptations throughout the game, and I think they could steal Haven.
I mean, I know you said your philosophy is going to change if they do drop a Breeze, but what about the other maps? How would you feel if, Vision Strikers aren't able to take Haven here?
Ooh, if they weren't able to take Haven, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Honestly, I really don't. Given how deep Vision Strikers' map pool is and how Haven plays out, typically it's very aggressive on the defensive side because of the fact there's 3 sites. So it could be coin flippy depending on how the pistols go, right? I can forgive them for losing Haven, but if they drop Breeze, which is their pick, I will not forgive Vision Strikers.
Not even that. I will forgive them for losing to Full Sense's biggest map pick throughout the entirety of this roster existing. So if there's one map I expect Full Sense to do well on, it's the one that they are most versed on. And if they can't win that one against Vision Strikers, I don't see it going well for them unless they can adapt between maps.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about what I want you guys to see from Full Sense, but this early on in the tournament, as Vision Strikers, what do you want to see? How should they set the precedent?
Oh, I've got my coach's hat on right now, and if I'm the coach of Vision Strikers, I turn around and go, don't underestimate them, but also remember we have many a days of games ahead. So it's almost like show the cards, but don't show the cards. Don't go full chips in, just kind of be a little bit passive with the way that you're going about this. And I would like to see them put a little on show, but don't show all of your cards at once.
I mean, Cloud9 and Fnatic are definitely watching this series. They're going to be watching to see what they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious if Vision Strikers is going to play an aggressive, disruptive style, trying to take Full Sense away from the executes. Or are they going to shell up and play passive, knowing they're the better team and have planned out retakes? They could take this either way.
I mean, sure, I know you were really excited about the team comms, the Breach Jet combos, 2 Breached and Jets going up against each other. But how do you kind of out Vision Striker their thing? The thing that they started, they shaped, they perfected. How do you take the Breach Jet to them?
So something I learned after watching a lot of Vision Strikers is you don't beat them by just putting all of your eggs in one basket and just executing. You need to bait out these trap plays. You need to take Garage on Haven, but just fall off of it immediately. Because likely when you're in Garage, there's going to be some crazy thing that happens. Like a fault line combined with a flash, combined with a jet dashing in, and they retake Garage and everyone's dead in there in 3 seconds. So you just want to fake like you're in there and then get out. But you need to do this all across the map everywhere when you play Vision Strikers. So the rounds that are longer, like the ones that Gambit played against Vision Strikers, are more successful because they can do those kind of things. If Full Sense doesn't have that mindset today, they will get obliterated.
You don't want to go up against a utility-heavy team like Vision Strikers who relies on that even in the mid-late round as well, and then not have baited out 90% of that utility and know full well that you're going to go up against it very, very quickly. I want to make sure as well that the Astra players, you were speaking about, having the breach, having the jet in a combo. I want to see those grab wells used in really good succession. If you want to pull someone in, if you want to get kills, and if you want to get some of their space makers on their team, use it to your good effect, because that's what I'll be looking for. And I know Vision Strikers said they're going to be looking at how the Astras play and look at the smokes. We got something funky going for you. That's what I'll be watching.
Oh, I'm getting really excited to see if Full Suns are able to do some of the things you guys want them to do. But we are experiencing a slight tech delay. So for you guys at home, let's take a closer look at Vision Strikers Lakia in this edition of The Art of Greatness.
저는 일단 창의력이란 말 하면은 그림이나 아니면은 음악같이 뭔가를 만드는 그런 게 제일 먼저 떠오르는 것 같아요.
Hi, I'm Bryce Coe, and I'm creating an illustration of the professional Valorant player Lakia. Sports as a medium that people consume and enjoy. It's like you want to see someone do something you think is like incredible. Because they play games, and then they want to see someone else do amazing at it.
저희 가족은 형이 3명이나 있는데 저희 가족이 어릴 때부터 게임을 좋아해가지고 저희 형들도 게임을 많이 했고 저희 형제 중 4명이 3명이 프로게이머였거든요.
Being creative has to do with understanding where the audience is at and surprising them, challenging them with something new and original. That's what creativity is for me within art, but I think it's the same within games.
일단 한강도 있었고 그리고 제가 어릴 때 산 올라가는 것도 좋아했었는데 그런 산 같은 데 올라가면은 보이는 딱 그런 딱 넓게 펼쳐져 있는 경관 같은 게 전 좋은 것 같아요.
He is like a super zen dude, and that has to do with my own kind of obsession with reaching that flow state, which I think he's also able to do. That's why he's so good. He knows how to become calm in the same way that like you're shutting off other things and just focus on the task at hand.
저는 제일 첫 번째 우선순위가 침착함이라고 생각해요. 왜냐하면 저는 일단 저라는 사람은 급해지면은 약간 좀 많이 흔들리는 스타일이거든요, 제가. 그래서 저는 최대한 침착하게 그 정보에 대응하려고 하고 정보 얻을 때도 침착하게. 저는 침착이 1순위인 것 같아요.
When Lakia talks about being a really calm player, that was kind of one of the main jumping off points, I think, for the illustration I made. I wanted to kind of convey the flow state that he's going through when he's playing through the visual of flowing water.
일단 저는 그런 창의적인 거라고 하면은 막 엄청 멋있거나 그런 것보다는 그 막 잔잔하고 막 평온하게 해준 그런 아름다운 것 쪽 관련된 거가 먼저 떠오르는 것 같아요. 그림이나 음악이나 둘 다.
One of the background elements within the piece are the mountains. It has more to do with trying to convey the type of guy he is, that it's going to be like a serene, beautiful piece. But another dimension of his life is that he's got 3 brothers. I put 3 different mountains, one to represent each of his brothers. And Lakia himself talks about like the view at the top of the mountain is something to strive for. These mountains represent that desire for him to climb, simultaneously how his brothers are part of that drive as well.
My name is Kim Jong-min, and 저는 그냥 뭐 간단하게 뭐 게임을 좋아하는 선수기도 하고 그리고 또 바깥 일상생활을 즐겨하기도 하는 사람인데 현재 20대를 게임에 엄청 집중하고 보내면서 살고 있는 사람 같아요.
Well, sad not to see Lakia in the first map, but Icebox is on the card, so if they does goes to map 3, maybe we'll see him on stage.
Dude, that driver.
Boy, you lift kenapa?
The artist's ability, I can't draw a stick, man,
No.
so don't even ask me to draw anything.
Yeah, I don't know how you just glance over that like that. Ian.
I watched
that
it
was
before.
amazing.
I watched it
oh, okay. I
already,
didn't see that before. I was like,
I've seen it already, so I
was
just
amazing.
assumed you guys have as well.
no, I've never seen that. That was really, really cool.
Well, if we don't get to be in the hype video, maybe in production we can sort out a portrait.
yeah,
Of Sean, yeah.
yeah, they can draw me.
That would
Yeah.
be cute.
Well, I believe we are ready to get into game, guys. It's the Koreans. It's time for the Korean Slayers to face their final boss. And speaking of final bosses, here's Paper Thin and Achilles.
All right, well, today we learned we are the final bosses of Valorant casting, I suppose.
All right.
But hey, what an absolute pleasure it is to be here to bring you guys this series. A bunch of firsts for us, first time being back on land with the English crew. Obviously, we're there for Reykjavik, but it's so much different now that we're here in the studio. It's time to get wild. It's time to get loud. And boy, am I excited about this set. Vision Strikers versus Full Sense. You and I have had the pleasure of casting Vision Strikers throughout this entire year, throughout their entire run of Q, where they were able to take it over Northampton in a 5-game grand final. It just feels like the stars have aligned for you and I.
Yeah, really. This is such an exciting matchup here at the beginning of this. You have the team that the desk was aptly pointing out is the Korean Slayers, right? They beat two very good teams, Newturn and Damwon, and those are no slouches in Korea. Those are teams that are constantly up there, getting to semifinals, getting to finals, pushing the envelope in Korea. But Full Sense, tenacious. That is one of the things that I really found to be so impressive about this Thai team. They are unflappable right now. One of the things that used to be kind of a big criticism about Full Sense was that they lacked the ability to break through in the final games. They were often second place, all over the place, and finally at the LCQ, they kind of got that monkey off their back. I think right now, Full Sense is a really dangerous opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. They cannot take this lightly. I know that the desk was talking about it. You can't be complacent. You can't just expect to win this series just because on paper you should. If you do that, that is when Full Sense is going to jump you. That's when they're going to catch you by surprise and manage to take away these maps that, we don't expect them to be able to do. I think that we might give them a little bit more credit given what we saw them do to Northampton, but Vision Strikers is obviously going to be a much tougher opponent. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are into the game and ready to kick off champion. Vision Striker is going to be starting on that attacker side, and for Full Sense, they need to have a strong half on this defense. That was what was severely lacking for them in the LCQ. They always were able to get their rounds on the attacking side. Defense was consistently weak.
Yeah, and I think looking at their initial defense, they're expecting some kind of C hit here. You can see a lot of the controller and sentinel utility is placed over on that side, and Vision Strikers likes to get through that window, so I love that trap wire placement there inside of Garage. You can see PTC
got 5 men strong, and it's Chalala and Superbus to try to retake.
I mean, the coordination here is so darn good from the Vision Strikers. This is what you expect, and it's nice to see it on the pistol round. One of the big things early on in the year that was one of the criticisms of the Vision Strikers was their inability to secure pistol rounds. And Full Sense, to their credit, was very good in pistol rounds during the LCQ for APAC. So here for the Vision Strikers, this is a big statement to start this game.
Yeah, very much is. A clean pistol round start for Vision Strikers, always something a bit terrifying. If you're on the opposite side. Chalala pushes out from Heaven, manages to find one, takes out King, but then Superbus will get traded, and now it's all on the lone Cypher. Stax going aggressive. He's going to be greeted by the double right click. Will get taken down. He's looking for RB. Will not manage to find it. RB will get 3 kills in the round, and Vision Strikers will start off Haven with a win.
I mean, it's just so well executed. They throw all their utility at the front of the site, and then they come together at the same time. You get the dash right away from Buzz into his own smoke. He's able to divert a few guns to his attention. That opens up space for RB to get a couple big opening kills, and that's basically site open round 1 for Vision Strikers. Just based on that push, it's great patience, great timing, and they avoided kind of what Full Sense had red onto them for this opening pistol round. All of the utility was on the other side of the map here. All of the Astra stars, all of the Cypher utility was on the other side. So this was a wide open site for the Vision Strikers.
Yep, now we're right back in for the second round. Mako just going to be bodyguarding while they try to get that ult or pick up for stacks. And man, they will even push out quite a bit of damage there on a super bus.
Concealment.
And given how far away Lammy is, getting healed up, it's not going to happen for quite some time. He's actually pushing through sewer all the way up to A lobby. He's backed up by John Olsen for a bit of a crossfire. RB hanging back to C. Kind of anticipating that they're going to be playing aggressively in this spot. I mean, this is something that we were seeing repeatedly from John Olsen, getting some punishing picks out onto Soldam when he was pushing forward like this, but he's actually going to get tagged up quite a bit, so now going to be down to 30 HP.
Yeah, John Olsen is a player that runs pretty hot and cold, to be frank, and that's not just like a superlative that a lot of people say. This is the MO of him from the region. Now here comes the execute for the Vision Strikers.
Yep, making their way forward. King's going to find Shalala. Strikes him down, stacks, gets on top of Super Bus, so they finish up one of the tagged up members here. John Olsen still not receiving any healing here. He's next to Lammy, but he doesn't have it available, obviously, so won't be able to receive anything. So 30 HP to try to retake against 5. I mean, this is basically what you're going to expect versus Vision Strikers when they do win the pistol round. The anti-eco is going to be very, very clean from them, so very well maybe ending this round flawlessly.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Lammy to find much value outside of maybe an exit frag or something like that, with that shorty waiting for the members of Vision Strikers to start pushing around. You can see there was a Sheriff invested here for John Olsen. Again, he's very, very good with it, but so far hasn't found much out of the way, but here we go.
Good value fault line. Just managed to catch multiple, but Stacks is still going to find that headshot. I mean, he's already got the Rolling Thunder online here for the next round, so see if he survives. He does. Long-range little shots there with the Spectre, and Lammy's just going to be waiting to run into the explosion. Goes down, and there you go. 5 men strong, still standing for Vision Strikers, up to 0. But now with rifles getting ready to come through here for Full Sense on their first full buy round, let's see if they can turn the tide. Because like I mentioned before, they need to have a strong defense.
Yeah, really, really do. And I think for me, a lot of this defense is going to come down to Lammy Snacks, a guy who usually is on the Sova. So a lot of that information is transferred over, of course, to the Trailblazer instead of the Recon Dart. But, you know, usually this is a Sova player. So I'm really curious to see if he's going to find a lot of value out of those guiding lights and those kind of things, if he can really kind of step up, be that he doesn't need to be aggressive necessarily like PTC was talking about the interview previously, but he's got to come up big here. He's got to support John Olsen. He's got to enable John Olsen to do what he does best, and that's frag out of his darn mind. All right, well, RB.
Halo bang, halo po sopo. Halo, halo.
Connection, but we know that he did get tagged down quite a bit.
Semangat bang. Makasih po
Starting to
sopo.
play forward. The Rolling Thunder
Thank you.
available will just be used. It's not going to catch anybody. They're all hanging back outside Heaven Stairs.
It's a great read.
Ayo kita menonton
Now look to
bersama.
retake
Ayo.
the site. John Olsen
Bang
already in. Gets a nice little tap there onto King. Picks out one. Needs to do
Bang Ija di
more.
Discord
Finds
memangnya.
Flash just moments before that flash goes off. Gets the kill. Stacks over still here to try to hold it down. Tries to go for the flash point. Can't make it happen. They get the cleanup. They'll get the defuse. And that is Full Sense on the board, 1-2.
This is a phenomenal play call here from PTC. Just get off the site. They read that this is where the Vision Strikers want to go. They know that the Rolling Thunder's online for Stacks. Just peace out. Wait for it to come through, and then go for the retake after that. John Olsen, by the way, one of the few jets that we're going to have around here that likes to go for the Vandal instead of the Phantom. Everywhere. It is basically the only gun he goes for his rifles. And of course, he will go for the op as well, but he is very nasty with that Vandal. We saw that ace against North Epsion on Ascent. That was just absolutely filthy. His ability to flick and transfer with it is just uncanny.
All right, well, nice little bonus pick up there for the side of Full Sense. Let's see if they can keep the ball rolling, tie it up. Vision Strikers going to be looking to put a halt to that, though, as quickly as they possibly can. They'll win forward. Phases out. John Olsen's going to gently drift back. Says, okay, there's 2 of you. I'm not going to mess with that. Pulls away. No harm, no foul, realistically.
That was a good little setup there from the Vision Strikers to at least stall that aggression.
Buzz got an inkling, and King is there for the follow-up. Lammy gone down. That's a very nice early pick. That's a lot of the info gathering eliminated here for the side of Full Sense. Don't have those guiding lights to try and confirm whether or not Vision Strikers is lurking around a particular part of the map. Bus trying to play forward just on the opposite side of the door. Bus just going to creep back, join in with the rest of the squad, and it seems like we may yet again be heading over to the A side.
I think they might have spotted Superbus, or at least sensed enough that he was going to be trying to do that. So Superbus trying to get aggressive. This is exactly what PTC was talking about. This guy loves to get up close and personal on these controllers. One of the most aggressive controllers you're going to see at this tournament, and it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who's watched the SEA region.
I actually like it. He hears the turret. It's going to be taken away now, but he put a Nebula down just to cover that up so he can creep out of garage undetected. The execution's already getting ready to come through here onto the A site. Cam does manage to get a spot onto one. Buzz going to go down. John Olsen tries to push the corner to get stacks, but will manage to fall. Mako takes out
Dikit anjir yang
Superbus on that
pakai skin
counterpart
champion itu.
Astra. Mako's just going to be lurking in the
fuck,
back,
man?
waiting for someone to
Kira
peek their
banyak.
head out of heaven. PTC trying to creep in. Chalala manages to come up with a kill. Confirm PTC's presence, though, with that guiding light. Nice flashpoint forces him back around the corner, just buying time. Looking to clear the cubby. Shot going through, fault line not going to connect. They see stacks for a moment. He'll pull back to the opposite side. He's got it again. The Rolling Thunder crashes through, manages to stun both. Holds the aftershock now. Just waiting for them to push, but Full Sense may have to just end up saving their weapons here. Still going to look to go for it. They will find stacks. That's 3 kills now for Chalala. RB around the corner. Manages to find one. Chalala, he's going for the push. He tucks away just in time. Spots him out, gets the headshot. 2 for RB on the back end. That'll be the closeout on the round. Vision Strikers not allowing Full Sense to get the momentum built up.
Yeah, this time they have a really solid early defense onto the A site compared to previously where they either just backed off or, during the pistol round just kind of folded over. They're able to pick up a couple early ones, and then it's once again Stax who starts clearing the way. But here, an early pick for King is a big part of this round. This guy is a really, really smart, sharp player. Great shot. He's like maybe the most underrated player on the Vision Strikers. And yeah, there's our Red Bull clutch here from RB, a guy who probably doesn't get enough credit, frankly, on this unbelievably star-studded roster.
Oh yeah, I mean, he went from being the one in the spotlight for the longest time, throughout stage 1. Not so much in stage 2, I suppose. But nice kill, putting Superbus in the dirt.
Well, this is not good for Full Sense here. You can't be throwing over these early picks to the Vision Strikers. That makes things just insanely more difficult with a team that trains very well. Mako so good around the corner. Gonna get John Olsen.
John Olsen just can't swing wide enough, can't pull back far enough to either get that line of sight to try to out-trade Mako nor to get away. Ends up getting picked off. It's 2 members now dead over at the C site, and Vision Strikers yet again just default to going to A. Kalala tries to push forward, will get struck down by Buzz, and the site is just completely free.
Yeah, this should be a Vision Strikers round unless we can find some kind of magic here from PTC and Lammy Snacks. They've been pretty good, at least finding a couple kills here and there because he turret up on top of the boxes and Vision Strikers begin to fan out. Mako doing a wonderful job here on this flank, reading it early. We saw this very early on where Full Sense likes to get aggressive into the spawn side of the attackers, and Vision Strikers was very ready for it. And now Mako once again positioned to defend against that, but this time coming from completely different direction.
Fault line does connect. PC going to be delayed. Tries to respond with one of his own, but the flashpoint will stop him from peeking out. Strikers just maintaining their positions here. Andy Snack's going to try to see if he can find anything on the exit with that Bulldog in hand. Push comes out, but just a bit too wide there from PTC. Stack strikes him down. King gets the final headshot, and Vision Strikers will put another round on the board.
Yeah, pretty clean here, and it's again the couple of the picks over on Long C that really set the stage for this round, make it very easy for the Vision Strikers. Of course, in Eco, it's going to be difficult no matter what for FS, but once you get that Blade Storm out of John Olsen's hands, that's one of those tools. He's one of those players who can turn things around in a heartbeat, but just a great angle hold there from Mako. Buzz just clicking heads on the push in. Looking great here for the Vision Strikers so far. A flawless coming in here, a Prime Gaming flawless, Achilleos.
Very, very clean stuff here from Vision Strikers. 3-round lead. It's a solid beginning here in the first half, and Full Sense going to be needing to dig deep to try to turn this around. Don't want to have to get put in those positions that we saw them in the LCQ, where they're down so far at the very beginning and then have to run it back in the second half. If they could at least make this to 5 rounds or so in the half, that would be fairly successful for them.
And look, once John Olsen or PTC gets heated up, things can get really dicey really fast. And here you go. This is what I'm talking about. FS loves to get aggressive towards the spawn side. It's going to be RB's job to try to lock this down. See if he can get a pick. That's a great flash from Stax.
From downtown, he sends it out over by C Long. Sends it straight to the box, manages to get enough of a blind there onto John Olsen, and RB feels comfortable enough for the swing.
But look at the spike. It's in no man's land.
It is. They're going to have to try to punch through here. The creep up around the corner might be good enough. RB ready with the Trailblazer. Close. Lammy Stacks. Oh, great spray from him. Knocks him back. And suddenly the advantage is there for Full Sense. 3 members strong. PTC still damn low in HP. Definitely make this a bit more likely for themselves. Superbus will find one. The fake on the plant. Stacks. He can't draw down fast enough. Superbus cleans up 2 more. And Full Sense pull the rug out from underneath the Vision Strikers.
Oh my word. I want to see that spray from Lammy. Oh my goodness. Gets 3. I mean, the Vision Strikers know he's there even. They get the information from the Trailblazer, and he's still able to get a triple kill out of it. An unreal play here from this Thai superstar. So you can see right away just transfers it right over. 1 head, 2 head through the wall. The flash is a bit late there from Stax. He does end up coming through and finish it off, but man, oh man, Lammy completely turns that round on its head for Full Sense. I love that kind of play.
Yeah, and it's just Vision Strikers being not necessarily on the same page. The timing is a bit off there. They go one after the other rather than double peeking. And they get punished for it. Huge play there from Lammy, and RB now going to be eliminated off the rip. That's going to be the Seekers offline for this round. Lockdown, Rolling Thunder still available. Buzz and Mako also, both just one little pizza slice away from having their ultimates available.
That first pick there from John Olsen is him. They set up that smoke earlier, and he just stayed in it. He never got out of it. And this time he kind of baits them a little bit into pushing out ahead, and RB's going to suffer the price for it.
Shalala tucked away. Rolling Thunder not going to connect. He goes for the peek, but King manages to out-trade him. Buzz rotating around the back. Looking for the cross as they try to enter the site, but Superbus is still going to be good for the kill. Mako trades it back, however. Making this a 3v3. Lockdown just to force everybody away from the site. Buy some more time here for the attempted retake.
A lot of King's utility there. They're going to send the Seekers out, try to get the information here. They have they got the Rolling Thunder, the fault line there to try to push through it. It's catch members of Vision Strikers, but they backed all the way out into C main.
Nanoswarm try and delay here, but as far as post-point utility, there's not too much else to speak of. Stax tries to come leaping out to make it happen, but he's not going to be able to do it. Gravity Well does get used, pulls him off. And Stax now going to go down. Mako is good for a third. Now a 1-3-1, and there it is. He gets the headshot. PTC is out of there. It's a 4-kill clutch by Mako. Keep Vision Strikers 3 rounds up. What a play. It seems like they were out of utility, but Mako says, it doesn't matter. I got this.
He had 1 Gravity Well left there, able to just be disciplined around these corners, and then starts popping heads, even gets flashed, resets, gets it on the finish on the spike. Unbelievable from Mako. Clutches around here for the Vision Strikers. Another Red Bull clutch. My word. These guys are so talented, and Mako is a guy that always is one of the first players on your lips when you start talking about this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody, it's so difficult to, really try to assess the squad and determine, who is the worst player on Vision Strikers. It's very difficult. But Mako, he gets, a little bit of backward karma there. PTC putting him down. I swear, that Arcane Sheriff, it has increased accuracy. I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm using that, suddenly I'm clicking heads like I never have before.
That Arcane buff is real, man.
But that's a really great opener there for the side of PTC. They could try to lurk down and get the gun, but you can tell they're wary that somebody is still going to be watching that position, so they haven't tried to press down through C long yet to recover that.
And that smoke's out of the hands of the Vision Strikers. There's no more. They've got flashes galore, but now there's no ability to cover off angles. Now they are going to sneak out and get John Olsen here. No problems there, and now they could try to take this site. There is still Lammy here, but he's shut right down by King.
Yeah, one thing that's better than a judge is a headshot from a Phantom or a Vandal. Puts him on the ground. Spike's still going to be planted, just like that. Vision Strikers back in control despite the early loss of Mako. Let's see if PTC can come up with some more magical shots. He does have the Rolling Thunder if they want to full send it here for this retake.
I think this might be one where you want to save that Rolling Thunder. I mean, maybe you can get something miraculous out of this. They're going to try the Aftershock here. Ooh, but King's going to get shut down from that Aftershock.
Does manage to trade it out. The Aftershock does finish him off, as you say. flashpoint actually turns back into it, so it does receive quite a full blind there. Another one coming through, and Buzz has got the cross angle. He'll finish him off. Last 2 kills for him, and Vision Strikers now going to be 4 rounds up.
I mean, it's so tough to break the Vision Strikers. Once they're able to get time on their post plants, they've set up such great crossfires. They're able to back each other up. The utility is there to follow through. Everything you could want out of them. There's a little bit of a weirdness with King, but that's okay. You're still able to get Buzz in a great spot. They have no idea. It's a good flash to get, I think it was RB's flash there with the guiding light, and then it's a double there for Buzz. And Buzz, one of the less talked about players from Vision Strikers. I mean, I think everybody thinks Stax, Mako, probably the first 2 that really come to mind. But Buzz, an unbelievable jet. He won a 1v1 jet tournament in Korea and Japan. They're like the best jets from all over Asia. He is actually the Korean jet. I know everybody talks about Soldam, but Buzz is really darn good himself, and he had the highest first kills per round in Masters 3. So Buzz is a really talented entry fragger.
I mean, there's been plenty of info surrounding Buzz. I mean, you're hearing stuff about these scrims that have been happening here in Asia, where he's putting up 54 kills in a map. You know, there's always this constant chatter surrounding him. So while he might not be the most talked about, I think he's still, you know, he's got there's the due diligence is there when it comes down to the conversation surrounding him. Everybody knows how talented he is. And this was, I'd say, when Vision Strikers decided to pick up Buzz and Mako, this was maybe the one that you and I were the most curious about as far as how this was going to go. Because Buzz, you know, previously was a little bit inconsistent. He was very hot and cold. He had his moments where he would absolutely pop off, but then he would have his moments where he would go in, try to just pull off this incredible blade storm and just would get shut down instantly. But it seems like he's really found his footing. The coaching staff from Vision Strikers, the teammates that he's surrounded with, they've really tempered him and molded him into a finely crafted weapon.
You hit exactly the point I was going to lead into, Achilleos, that the coaching staff for Vision Strikers has to be given a ton of credit. They're so darn good at converting these players from one role to another. Mako used to be a jet. RB used to be a jet. Now they're all over the place. Here we go. Buzz, speaking up, just going to crack this site wide open. There's that rolling thunder to blow things up. But a Hawk comes out, but John Olsen going to shut down RB.
And makes his way out from Garage, just managed to find one. Super Buzz taken down by Buzz, but then Buzz falls to PTC. Spike, however, did not get stranded on the site, so they're able to go ahead, rotate out, and look to make their way over to the A site, potentially even B here. We'll have to see what they land on. They're creeping around. Trailblazer will try to scout out through the garage. They want to try to hide here.
They're going to see it.
They pull away. Not sure if it got the spot onto King or not.
They saw at least somebody from Vision Strikers, that's for sure. That dog got out the door and definitely spotted members of them. Now they're going to try to push their way in through Garage. PTC here, still expecting a B hit off of the information. So Stax here, dialing something up, trying to change things a little bit. But you got John Olsen in C main there. That's a really nasty crossfire that FS has available for them.
They do. King, though, push right up over towards Defender's access. Won't take Lammy by surprise. Seems like he wasn't anticipating him to be that far into the site. And now it's 2 members to try to retake this. PTC having already used the Rolling Thunder. Would really love to have it now.
You can see that PTC very aware that the Vision Strikers really like to have people hanging out on off angles, on flanks, and the window is one of the places where they will stick somebody. King, a lot of times, one of the players that really likes to lurk inside of this zone. But I like the setup here from Full Sense, but Vision Strikers just too strong. Just nail 2 headshots with those Phantoms, shut things down, post-plant opportunity now.
King jiggling around, Stax, I mean, should he need it, does have that Rolling Thunder to get them off the spike, but they're running out of time. And Full Sense will make the call. They say, okay, let's just go ahead, hold on to the weapons. Mako not going to try to push through Garage window to get the picks. Just lets them go their separate ways. They are more than happy to have this 5-round lead.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much that Full Sense is able to do off of all of this. It's just better shooting from the Vision Strikers. They really read John Olsen's position very nicely. Stax catches him right away, and that could have been really nasty. I think maybe John Olsen should have waited a little bit, waited for the spike to come down before he revealed himself, before he tried to shut down the Vision Strikers' push, but they kind of lost track of the Vision Strikers after that Trailblazer from Lammy Snacks. They really didn't know exactly where they're going. They weren't sure if it was going to be B, A, or C. There was still a lot of time and opportunity for the Vision Strikers to find room to maneuver, to go for the plant themselves. PTC is going to set up inside of B here. Lammy, they're expecting some kind of B hit. That star out in the front of B main there really makes me think that the Vision Strikers are at least considering it, or, you know, going to go for a fake. The playbook is so deep for this team.
See what they want to do. John Olsen, last time he had the Blade Storm out, wasn't able to find too much value. Was cut down by Mako over at C. Long he's going to be playing out in Garage. He's looking to try to slow things up, and oh, the tailwind not quite going to go where he wanted it to. Stacks will strike him down. So yet again, it's going to be a dud of an ult here for John Olsen, just seemingly not in the groove.
This is one of the things that you see from time to time with John Olsen. He has been really nuts so far this year, but he can run cold and he can start making mechanical mistakes like that where he gets punished for it, and that's not good. Again, and the opening pick goes the way of the Vision Strikers. Now they're making their way towards A, where it is just Chalala hanging out up in the top. And it is a rapid rotation here, but we'll see if they can get there in time for full sense.
Vision denied right now, but gets the tag, and that's going to be Stacks taken down. Nicely done by Chalala. Push comes through. Lammy Snacks will manage to find King, but it's a kill beyond the grave. A bit of martyrdom there. The Nano Swarm will strike him down. Mako now looking to anchor the site. Finding that third pick on the entry. See what else they can do.
Timing and the placement of that Nano Swarm so good from King. Even though he dies for it, he's able to slow things up and get the reset here. But Super Bus on the flank with the Phantom. We'll see if he can find the backside, but it's RBU's ready for it. Shuts him down. Buzz is going to get Chalala to get the last kill here, and Vision Strikers going to go up 8-2.
Quick headshots flying through, and Vision Strikers right now, I mean, very much looking like on pace to make this a 10-2 half. That was a bit of a curse. We kind of got rid of the 9-3 when we were doing the LCQ. 2-10 had kind of become the new one. Is it going to hold true today is kind of the question here. Haven of all maps, of course, definitely not what we would anticipate. I mean, full sense, thinking about it, they did play this. This was, I believe, the last map in that grand final.
Yes.
5 rounds they were able to pick up on the defender's side. Not looking, I mean, it's not possible. You know, maybe they can make this an 8-4 if they can win the next 2 consecutively, but John Olsen, ooh. He'll take the shot anyway, won't get the damage connected, but they at least get the confirmation that an operator has been purchased and that John Olsen is situated at the seaside.
Well, it's been so devastating in these rounds here for full sense, and finally they're able to get the operator in the hands of John Olsen. Lammy gonna trade with Buzz. RB pushing on through, let out the guiding light, and then, ooh, but Super Bus.
Not ready for him to be tucked away in the cubby. John Olsen will find Buzz, and Sax, he's still standing. Well, managed to find one more before getting taken down, and there's full sense denying the 10-2 dream away from Vision Strikers. They will get a third round. Now we go into the final round of the half. Is this going to be an 8-4, or is it that 9-3? Might cause some concern for Vision Strikers, might have them shaking a bit in their boots. We'll have to just wait and see.
I don't know how superstitious Stacks is. I don't think
Probably not very.
I don't think he's too. That guy is cold-blooded. I don't think any of that matters to him. The only thing that matters is getting the win. And yeah, you can see how impressive it has been for the Vision Strikers to keep that out of the hands of John Olsen for this long, because you can see what he can do with it. He's absolutely devastating. He's one of the best in the business in the APAC region with this gun. So he is absolutely a force to be reckoned with. Starts out on top of B, but now quickly rotating over towards A to see if he can maybe get himself in a position to try to punish this potential push from the Vision Strikers, who are setting up, looking pretty keen, trying to get into this space.
Buzz does have Blade Storm popped. Just in case he needs it. Cyber Cage gonna come up. First op shot, just taking away the Trailblazer. Blind does go through, gets Chala inside of the Cyber Cage. Push comes out, the blind timing's perfect, and Buzz takes John Olsen's head right off. Now the lockdown's going to be used on the site. The Seekers not going to be finding too much. They know exactly where Vision Strikers is. They just can't get to them right now. PTC does have a cheeky little spot, however, in heaven. He's not going to be caught by that lockdown. Puts about half HP down on King. Can't get that finish yet. Doesn't quite have a great angle for the aftershock. It's him and Lammy against the world. He comes jumping out, looks to find one, will get Buzz, transfers to King, but Stacks shuts him down, and now it's all on Lammy Snacks, and he's got to push blindly through this Astra wall. Makes his way in, doesn't know which way to look. Stacks will strike him down. It's 9-3 on the half.
This is just, I mean, so impressive for the Vision Strikers. You can see that they are so good about crossing their T's, dotting their I's. Everybody's in a position to cover each other. The crossfires are amazing. Everybody knows their role. They're doing their jobs. Mako, again, knows about these long lurks from FS and is ready for it.
Yep, just wonderfully done. Great lurk in the back. Mako just knows that Super Bus is going to be coming through. Strikes him down in Stacks. I mean, we talk about side anchors. He is one of the greatest in the business.
Just absolutely insane. I mean, he's one of the best clutch performers in the world, too. The guy has so many 1vx's, I can't even hold him in the
Absolutely
hands.
Incredible. But guys, that's the first half done. We're going to throw it back over to the desk to break down the action.
Yeah, what a start for Vision Strikers 9-3. I know we talk about the curse of the 9-3 curse, but 9 rounds there right off the bat, Sean. Great look for Vision Strikers.
I don't think there's any kind of curse that's going to save these guys in the second half, Yinsu, because Stax is dominating this game with utility. He has a ton of frags to go with it, but dear God, his fault lines and flashes, he had 4 ults that half, could have been 5. You know, it was just unreal.
Round 6. He flashes from what I'm going to call Narnia all the way over so that they can secure the kill on John Olsen, who goes, I want to be, you know, aggressive on the defense. We expect John Olsen to do that.
Push through A lobby.
And then the comms must have been wild because, of course, they're calling the Jets pushing aggressive. And he goes all the way from C long and goes, pop. And then like a 30, 40 meter baseball throw of this flash. My goodness.
He jumped for it as well. It was great. But what did you make of the aggression from the side of Full Sense? Were you a fan of it?
Yeah, I actually don't mind it when you're expecting a lot of utility to burst onto site and you yourself might not be able to deal with it as much. Maybe disrupt before they even get to the point of being able to lay that utility down. I don't mind that. And we saw some really nutty 3Ks from some of the gunners from Full Sense. So when it works, but it becomes predictable very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think their early rounds were great. It's their late rounds where they lacked. The 1v2 to RB in the A site, the 1v3 to Mako over there at C, right? I think Lammy Snacks made a couple key mistakes. The round after the bonus where he gets caught in garage behind the box, you know, the round in the 1-on-3 against Mako where he pushes him and is the first death. Those are key deaths on very, very big rounds, right? That could have changed the tide of this half.
No, I just wanted to point out before we go forward, how many ults did Stacks get? How many orbs was he farming?
Nearly 5.
It was he almost got 5. It should have been 5. It should have been 5,
That's incredible, wow.
Well, do you guys think they're going to close it out here in the second half?
I mean, it would be strange if they don't.
Yeah.
9-3 curse, it happens.
It doesn't happen here, though.
I mean, Sean is very adamant it's not happening. I'm going to get on that boat as well.
Oh, well, Sean and Jess are both very adamant that Vision Strikers are going to take this. Paper Thin and Achilleos, over to you for the second half.
Thank you very much, Jinzu and Co. And here we go, straight back into the action. Well known for the defensive setups as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of taken what FS usually likes to do onto Haven, at least when we've seen them in recent history, and that's try to go for B pushes. FS is one of the best B site hitting teams I've ever seen here on Haven, and Vision Strikers is very set up to. And Vision Strikers is very set up to kind of bottle that up and contain it. You can see they're already drifting in this direction towards the garage as well, but the Vision Strikers are getting aggressive. They want to push forward, but these shots, this Trailblazer is going to give a little bit of information over here.
To be used. Slams it down to the ground. Vision Strikers say, okay. Buzz just going to cycle back. Looks like RB still going to play forward. But they're anticipating that this is not going to be an A hit. That's why you're going to see 2 members cycling back so they can have a faster rotate and leave RB further forward. Just in case.
And obviously, this is such a huge round for FS, excuse me. They really, really, really would like to get this pistol win, see if they can find something. But King,
30 seconds left.
Kind of an awkward place here. Looks like they are going to be setting up for the C hit. Time's running down.
Yeah, looks like King, they've just spotted it out, does have that frenzy available. John Olsen pushing forward. Stax managing to find the first kill. Superbus will get rid of the enemy Killjoy, but Stax is good for 2. Nice little shutdown there, try to fast track that rolling thunder, but it's taking a considerable amount of damage, and RB doesn't have the healing, so Stack's gonna have to play this out a little bit more patiently. RB, however, gets himself out into long, somehow doesn't get that elimination, still puts quite a bit of damage down, finally lines up the headshot. Buzz will be good for another. Chala will strike him down, but Stax finds 3, and Vision Strikers somewhat cleanly win yet another pistol round.
I mean, what are you gonna do against Stax when he's on fire like this? He's just clicking heads everywhere he goes. This is what he's known for. He's one of the best headshot percentages players that we have in Asia. I mean, outside of Suggest on New Turn, that's about the only guy who ever tops him in that stat. He's just unbelievable. Pistols, guns, it does not matter. He is just doming people.
Incredibly clean here from Vision Strikers, and now we're just 3 rounds away from trying to take this. Looks like we do have a technical pause, so we'll get a little bit of a lull in the action for now. Allows us to just go ahead, take a little bit of a stock check, you know? Seems like from the side of Full Sense, despite their heavy disadvantage that they find themselves in right now, still looking to play this out normally, not going for any purchases at all, other than Superbus, a little bit of star action in there.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought this, FS is a team that will occasionally, push the envelope on these eco rounds, on these anti-eco, let's call it that, when they're on the back foot after the pistol round. And I think this will be the opportunity to do so. I was kind of curious if they were going to do it on the first half as well, but Vision Strikers winning both pistols makes it pretty likely that they're going to come through and win this. If you saw, I think it Masters 3 was something like 85 or 89% of the time.
Yeah.
If you won both pistols, you were winning the map.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredibly damning stat here for Full Sense, but always just look at this as a bit of a warm-up. Granted, this is their map pick, so that does become a bit concerning, but I mean, Breeze is still a map pick that very much shocks us from Vision Strikers, and I'm glad that that is actually the second map and not the third, because I'm really curious as to what the hell they have planned for that one. Because for them to decide to go for Breeze is shocking to say the least. You and I were kind of running through what the map draft might look like coming into today. We were talking about it yesterday, and we're like, okay, yeah, they probably banned Ascent. That makes a lot of sense, but then where do they want to go from there? I guess Breeze, because they like every other map. But
I figured it'd be Icebox. I thought we were going to get either Haven or Bind from FS and then Icebox from the Vision Strikers, but that got saved till last. So pretty interesting to see this from Vision Strikers. If you guys aren't familiar with this team, they almost never play Breeze. I mean, it has been like Yinsu pointed out on the desk, it's been almost permabanned by Vision Strikers. They really haven't liked it. I think part of that, in my mind, it's kind of a couple different reasons. Buzz is a pretty good sniper, not a great sniper, and also the Vision Strikers prefer the Phantoms, not the Vandals. And I think the Vandals are really powerful, in my opinion, on Breeze because of that instant one shot at any range, that you have.
You have a couple people that'll tend to trend towards the Vandal. Stacks, of course, is one of them, because, I mean, we've seen so many highlight reels where he's just able to get these incredible spray transfers with the Vandal.
Lakia as well, if we go to that.
But, yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. This is a bit of a wild card team. This is a bit of a dark horse potential. This is a bit of a dark horse potentially in this tournament. Maybe they need that kick to the lower bracket to kind of really wake themselves up, dig deep, get that drive going for them to be able to push through and try to make it out. But, you would love to see it right off the rip. Go ahead, jumpstart the engine here in this first series.
Yeah, and it is their first LAN for Valorant here for the Full Sense squad. And I don't think that means quite as much because most of these players of, if not the two best tech shooting players ever in Thai history. So really these guys, got to find some kind of magic. They got to get heated up. John Olsen's got to find some kind of irrational self-confidence to just start clicking heads and start, getting some value out of those blades, getting value out of the op if he can get to it. He is a guy who will go for it on attacker's side, by the way. So you got to be looking for that, because we saw him whiff that one on the Buzz, and Buzz punished him instantly with his own Blade Storm.
Yeah, it's just not really been on the ball, and I wonder if this is maybe a little bit of a product of the map itself, because thinking back to that Full Sense versus Northemption series in the grand final, it actually was not the greatest performance from John Olsen. Granted, it was map 5 in a grueling series.
Yes,
but
everybody was real tired at that point.
But it was very much the PTC show in that final map. He was the one top fragging. I think John Olsen came out maybe 3rd or even 4th on his squad, so maybe, Haven, not where he really finds his groove. Perhaps he's going to excel a little bit more when it comes down to Breeze Icebox. We'll have to just wait and see if we can make it that far. Couple shots flying out. Look at the tag up. Mako there in the back. I see sight. Don't manage to get any connections through.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see this map come through here. This is a map that Vision Strikers has said it's their favorite map to play. Now, their results are good, not great on this map across a lot of their play throughout the last year, but they're still, you can see here today, they're really, really strong, especially on the attacker side. This has been kind of the MO of Korean teams. They are so strong because of their ability of their timings, their combos, their kind of polished perfection that they try to achieve.
Corner shot out to John Olsen as he peeks out towards long. Backed up just a bit. Hawk going to go over the wall. Detroit will confirm their presence. Fault line. It actually does manage to connect onto RB, but push isn't coming through yet, so he's going to be able to remain safe. We'll hear the orb take. 3 members approaching through the sewer, and Lammy Sacks gets a very nice headshot there onto Buzz. John Olsen as well, pushing in from long, cuts down RB. That's going to be a man advantage here for the side of Full Sense. We'll see if they can translate this into a round win. Nebula comes up, denying vision away from Stacks in Heaven. He'll rotate back down. It seems like it's going to have to be a 3-man hit through this alley access.
Yeah, there's nobody on that covey. That was just pinged by the Vision Strikers, so they're thinking somebody's going to be around that corner, but nobody's there. There's not much utility left here on the side of FS, though. There's that gravity well that King's going to find himself stuck in. Is going to get out-traded by Superbus.
Yeah, gets mowed down with that recovered Spectre. Stax now trying to push into the site. They'll see Mako on the one side, but they manage to find 2 kills. Stax comes up with a second. John Olsen taken down. The right clicks from PTC will eliminate Stax. And PTC peeks the corner, gets the Red Bull clutch. Full Sense say, we're taking this round. We're not going down with only 3 under our belt. They will find a 4th.
Well, you were just talking about him, Achilleos. PTC comes up huge when FS needs him most. What a play there around the corner. Knows that Mako's probably going for the half here on this Red Bull clutch. And look at this. There's the right clicks, gets Stax, who had just taken 2 down, and then right away catches Mako as he's still trying to get to the half, and then probably going to pull up, but he's got the great senses, the great timing from PTC.
And what a swing. Now look at the weapons here for the side of Vision Strikers. Going to be kicked back onto the pistols. 3 sheriffs rather, in hand. 2 classics. As they look to stave them off. I mean, this would be one hell of a thrifty from Vision Strikers if they could pull it off, but it seems like Full Sense should be able to get the ball rolling here for the very first time. Trailblazer will spot Mako. Put some damage in onto him. Tries to pull away. Seems like he'll be okay. Rolling Thunder just looking to dissuade them from advancing forward into the garage.
Yeah, they do have Rolling Thunder available. That's where I wanted to go with that.
Line, I should say.
Yeah, I was curious. Sorry, I baited you there. That was my fault, Achilles. I was going to say that PTC is sitting on that Rolling Thunder. I mean, kind of mirroring what we saw with Stax on the breach here. It's such a valuable ult.
Mako just trying to dip and dodge around the bullets. 30 HP remaining for him as he does get tucked away into the copy. See if he manages to find Superbus. He's thinking about creeping out, but rotation's coming through. Guiding Light not going to spot anything in long. Buzz hasn't seen anything yet. Should have an inkling that they are getting ready to move up.
Just double stack.
Go for the peek. Blind in, they look for the peek. There's one, there's 2 on peek. Down 2, Superbus, however, answering back, and John Olsen found one as well before he did fall. Still good kills out for Full Sense, a 3v3. Spam shots coming through. Lammy not going to hit King. He's actually going to push into the Nebula. He's getting aggressive. His back is turned. He gets the headshots through. Spike's still going to be planted, but now it's going to be rifles recovered. Turret goes out. Superbus has crept over onto that right side. It's short. See if King scouts this out. He sees the gun barrel. He goes for the peek, and King will get struck down. Shalala will find Stax, and now it all falls to Mako. 30 HP in a dream, but it's going to become a nightmare rather quickly. They put him on the ground, and Full Sense find themselves a 5th round.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid eco here from the Vision Strikers. That little set play from RB and Buzz. They don't give the information away to Lammy Snax' Guiding Light. They're ready around the corner. They pop. They come around the corner. RB gets 2 with that Sheriff. Incredible stuff here from the Vision Strikers to at least get something out of an eco round. And then King, lurking around on the site, gets a gun, but Superbus, nice little maneuver there to get over into that corner to catch King off guard.
Yeah, absolutely. King going aggro, Superbus matching, comes up Trump, very nicely done. And without that play, you have to suspect that Vision Strikers may have been able to steal that round away, so it's very good stuff from Superbus. Now, Full Sense. Let's see if they can keep pushing the envelope here. Full Phantom send here from Vision Strikers. We have the 2 Vandals in for Full Sense. Push forward, break down the garage door a bit. Spike going to be picked up, and it seems like they might turn their sights towards A yet again. Start inching forward, and Buzz lurking in sewer at the moment, peeking into a lobby.
Superbus able to keep himself hidden behind that corner. Going to try to set up a few stars here and there potentially. They're going to lead the way with the Trailblazer toward Buzz. Immediately, RB rotating over for the assistance. Stax filling in onto the B-Link side of things, and a ton of stars coming out here from Superbus.
That's a bit worrisome here if you're Buzz. Stun comes out, but actually they're not going to push into him. Thunder. Let's get cleared out. Oh, John Olsen looking away for just a moment, but does manage to identify that Stax is behind the box. Gets that kill. Mako in the meantime trading out. Superbus will fall off screen. John Olsen though. Tucked away, left side on this alley access as Mako makes his way into heaven. Pushes out King, ready for it. Doesn't take any damage either. Comes up with a clean kill.
Unbelievable. This angle here from RB and Buzz is going to be killer potentially for FS.
just waiting out the aftershock. Buzz making his way forward, spots PTC, gets him in the head. Lammy trying to get the cross, doesn't manage to transfer it into the second player. Chalala, he needs to do it, he can't get it done. Only managed to find one. Odds were stacked against him. The spike will be defused. Vision Strikers now just one round away from guaranteeing overtime, 2 from taking map 1.
Dude, RB does such a good job of making the Rolling Thunder from PTC virtually worthless and keeping Buzz alive. He's throwing his guiding lights down the hall here to keep Buzz safe, to not allow that push through short, and that keeps short safe for both of those players, gives them the crossfire, and then they're able to just come through 1, 2, 3. King picks up a couple big kills along the way. This Vision Strikers team is so disciplined, they're so smart, they're so savvy. It is almost impossible to break through their defenses.
And that gives them the lockdown. They have such great defensive tools now available to them with the Rolling Thunder as well.
Get out of my way.
That's going to be the Blade Storm pop by John Olsen. Spots one. Mako again going to be in the back of sight. And he's just going to go ahead and use that opportunity to get across to the opposite side. Playing that back left corner. You can see John Olsen peeking around the box. Not necessarily privy to this information that Mako has transferred spots. Maybe they're going to be pop. That's just going to further delay. King standing there just in case he needs to use the lockdown to further dissuade them.
Yeah, not much information gained here for Full Sense. They don't really have much of an idea of where the Vision Strikers are or what they want to do. There's nobody that's pushed up towards Ace. You can see the pings coming down here for the Vision Strikers as they know that the push is beginning towards A main here. Trailblazer is going to start out RB. Yep.
Oh, RB trying to go for the push here. Wow. Cyber Cage going to deny his vision away, though. Very nicely timed there by Chalala. Could have been catastrophic otherwise, so nicely done by him. Keeps his team alive, and it's going to be a rotate back over towards C. Bidding now, making their way forward. No one's going for the garage approach. It's just going to be a full 5-man hit. Straight up default. Dash into the smoke. Blades are out. Oh, but he's going to be whipping them. Still manages to draw down with the classic. Finds stacks in the head. Mako in the meantime finds 2, and King will strike down John Olsen. PTC comes up with 1. Gets rid of the Astra. Gets rid of the Killjoy. Now 2v2 for the retake. Vision Strikers, they spot 1. Chala takes him out. Blade Storm's out. A ball! The right click from Buzz. He pulls it off in an instant. The defuse is there, and Vision Strikers have locked in their 12th round win.
Unbelievable. Buzz just hits that Blade Storm and doesn't hesitate for a second. Just gets up in the air on top of BTC, who had done such a good job of busting that site open for Full Sense. It was a hard slog, but the Vision Strikers just enough at the end, just enough in the tank to get that done. My word here, Mako getting an incredible double around the corner. They don't check that angle. That's a huge punish there for the Strikers. And Buzz up and over, right click. Gonna get the clutch. Oh my good.
Very clean, very smooth there from Buzz. Showing off why he's been highlighted, why he's been put into so many, top 20 player lists. Players that are here at this event. Very much earning those honors. Again, looking to play a bit of a nice little duo here over at A long. Trailblazer will start. Buzz looking for the peek as they go to destroy it. Takes a little bit of damage. So does John Olsen.
This Buzz RB combo has been absolutely fantastic. They're playing off each other's utilities so darn well. But a good fault line. Buzz able to dash out of the way. RB follows up.
Oh, he just lands right in front of PTC, but still manages to get the headshot. John Olsen wasn't there for the counterplay to try to shut them down. Buzz now around the back. John Olsen manages to get both of them, though. Oh, the transfer from one to the other shuts them down, but Stacks now in such a cheeky little spot. Spots Lammy, cuts to the other side of the wall, finds it, gets the third, and there you go. Vision Strikers, they take the first map of the series, the first series of champions, 13-5.
I mean, who else but Stacks to clutch it out with a 3K to finish Haven. My word, that was such a good performance here from the Vision Strikers. Everything you would expect. Stacks was nuts on the attacker side. RB and Buzz were so well coordinated on the defender side. Achilles, I mean, just this is everything you would expect from this team coming into this event.
Yeah, this is if you're in this group D, this is what you didn't want to see from Vision Strikers. You wanted to see them have a repeat of them versus Paper Rex at Masters 3, where they looked a little bit shaky, where they looked like these teams were going to be able to push them to the limit. You did not want to see Vision Strikers start things off cleanly, especially when it's on the map pick of Full Sense. Fortunately, this just wasn't enough for them, and now we've got Breeze getting ready to come up, and there's just so many question marks surrounding this. You and I have no idea what the hell to expect.
Zero.
How are Full Sense going to know what's coming?
It's going to be wild, dude. I'm really excited. But yeah, Vision Strikers, this is Vision Strikers 3.0 is what the staff is telling me behind the scenes. These guys are fired up. They've been practicing their butts off. They are ready for this event.
They absolutely are. They've been here in the country for about a month prepping for this event. They have gone hard in the paint to try to make sure that they take home the trophy at the end of it all. It's a solid first step, but there's so many more after that. There's still a map 2, potentially a map 3, let alone the rest of the bracket, then the playoffs. But it's a solid beginning look here for Vision Strikers. Full sense, for their sake, let's hope that they can draw it back, because we know that they can perform better than what they showed us here in this first map. Hopefully this is a bit of a warm-up, getting used to being on this stage, and that they can answer back in Breeze, have a strong performance, and take us to Icebox.
Absolutely. I mean, Full Sense here needs to readjust its Breeze. So for that sake, you don't know what the Vision Strikers are doing. They're not too sure what they're doing either. Neither team has played it a lot, Achilleos. Really curious to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, all I know is that this is just absolutely wonderful. Even though the first map isn't as close as we would have liked it, it's just incredible to be back here in an arena, you know, on land, watching these players, having them behind us, being next to you as SCQ.
I'm not used to this.
We haven't done this since the end of stage 3, so it's been absolutely wonderful start to the day, but we got plenty more action coming up after the break, so do not go anywhere, or else.
What a fantastic start for Vision Strikers. They take down Full Sense on their map pick of Haven. I'm back on the desk with Jess and Sean. All I want to say is the age of the Jet is over.
Well, I don't know about
and
that.
the time of breach has come. Sean, the time of breach is here.
For today, but I think we're a bit too soon.
Way too soon. I just wanted to get a Lord of the Rings reference out there from on day one, but
I can respect it, but Jesus, Stax is unreal. He's unreal. His fault lines to open up the sites, his flashes to support for buzz to entry, his ults for post plant, for taking the sites. He has mapped out ults for all these different locations, the aftershocks in the A site to prevent the retake. It's honestly just a picture-perfect breach game.
Honestly, the thing for me wasn't just that Stax was able to use his utility so intensely, it was that the entire team understood when to use their utility. Okay, Stax has used his, I'll save mine for the late round. In fact, I'll save mine for a post plan because Stax won't have what's necessary to delay that push in for the retake. I mean, there was multiple times I said, let's watch the Astra, for example. Let's see what those grab wells do. I'm looking over to, I think it was round 14, and Mako throws a grab well in a post plant and it sucks them right up, easy kill. And I'm like, you know what? This is just picture-perfect utility usage from Vision Strikers.
I'm not sure, is that the 1-on-3 he won where he grabbed well the guy off the defuse and then, yeah, it was just every piece of utility that Vision Strikers uses has a reasoning and thought behind it, and it's always perfect. That's the one thing I can take away. That's their flaw, though, is that they're so reliant on the utility that sometimes they're a little bit afraid to take fights. Like that 2-on-2 in the A site with Stax and RB, where RB had to win the 1-on-2. I think most teams would just win the gunfights. But they had to get cute and use every piece of utility.
Yeah, we saw a lot of cool things there, but it's time to hand it over to Barlow.
Hello, Imam. Hello.
Some of that down.
Yeah, and I really like what you guys are talking about on the desk because I got exactly the same type of stuff to show off here in one of these segments. It's Telestrator TW back at it again, and we're going to take a look at not only how Vision Strikers uses utility, but also their experience with it and how they're actually reacting to it. So this is a round where it's round 4, where there's actually an aggressive push here coming in from Full Sense, and they're going to use the breach utility to try to force Vision Strikers back and maybe find themselves a kill. You saw Mako jump spotting there, but instantly the reaction is so good. This is why you can't really pick breach into such a strong breach player like Stax. He is literally ready for it. He has the flashpoint ready. Mako is also committing himself to a position that is very strong against this. The fault line comes in and he flashes for it after there reactively, right? They're bouncing off of it. So you see he's full blind. John Olsen, unfortunately, Snax is not able to get the kill on this, but Mako, even though he's fault lined, he tucks himself into this corner instead of this corner. If he had put himself here, then he would have actually instantly gotten killed and Stax would not be able to trade for him. So the way that he actually puts himself is very important. You were seeing all these tiny micro plays all the time. So one more thing I want to point out is the way that Stax is playing this as well. You saw he ulted in the last round. He's going to get another ult, but more importantly, he's going to make the call for King and Buzz to push into Garage because as we just saw, actually, down the side of the map, we had them pushing down Long C, so he knows it's going to be open. So two players are going to scale up against Limey Snacks, take him out with barely anything just because of the way the map control is working. And here, focusing on Stax getting the ult orb. Oh, and what's going to happen now? We just saw a lot of aggression down Long C. We know that Full Sense is actually going to re-clear into Garage. They're going to go back over it. Let me pause here real quick. As we look at the ult orbs from him, he's getting one more. They're pushing this A site, which they know might be open because of the speed that they're taking this at, and he's going to get the plant down too. So literally last round he had the ult. There he gets another kill. That's what activates it, but he has to wait for the plant to go down as well. And that's basically the round done because Stax uses utility so well and also is playing the meta game, the overall game of the ult economy.
Common atau
masuk akal. Strat saving itu kemungkinan yang pertama. Kemungkinan yang kedua, kita lawan Southeast Asia, ada apa-apa lah kita main breeze, kita mau coba untuk long range-nya seperti apa. Apakah kita memang bisa menang di long range? Karena catatan kita ini kan memang nggak berfungsi nih sekarang. Tapi breeze baru dimainkan 1 kali untuk Vision Strikers. Jadi memang nggak ada catatan sama sekali dan bisa jadi senjata rahasia nanti untuk Vision Strikers. Iya, ini dia kayak aduh asli. Cuman gue udah jadi nggak pede sih Full Sense keluar grup sekarang. Karena awalnya ya kalau ngelihat dari performa mereka, oke nih. Soalnya lawan Korea oke, lawan Jepang oke. Cuman habis itu ketika ngelihat map pertama lawan Vision Strikers langsung, ya elah.
Langsung goyah ya, Bun.
Langsung goyah sumpah asli.
Tapi memang sebenarnya di map pertama mereka Vision Striker memang rapi banget sih dengan komposisi agent mereka. Kayak masuknya tuh mulus banget.
Bersinergi.
Bahkan ketika mereka masuk, ditantangin ya sama Full Sense. Mereka ada backup plan.
Iya,
Mundurnya
iya,
enak
iya.
banget. Waduh, ini kenapa bisa begini?
Kayak udah tahu nih si Stax nih, tenang guys. Lu gagal, gue udah siap fault line biar lu bisa mundur nih. Kalem aja, kalem boy. Jadi kayak itu dia sinergi kayak mereka udah kayak tadi 2-2-1 udah jelas sih plannya di awal ngapain. Nanti kita kumpul lagi ya, kita regroup di mana ya.
Ketemuan lagi di mana gitu ya.
Ketemuan lagi di mana ya kan. Jadi udah plan A sampai D bahkan itu kelihatannya mereka udah
Mereka
tahu harus
kayak
ngapain.
udah mikir 5 step ke depan gitu. Kayak mereka tahu apa yang bakal dilakukan sama Full Sense ketika mereka coba masuk.
Misalnya mungkin ada orang di belakang door-nya. Ya paling kita giniin nanti kita bakal blok lagi sistemnya seperti apa.
Lu bercanda lu.
Jadi
Lu nggak ingat semua ini lu.
lumayan textbook sebenarnya untuk Vision Strikers, tapi belum bisa dipecahkan tadi puzzle-nya oleh Full Sense.
Semua ini lu nggak ingat.
Ya, Brisnya ini justru dipilih sama Vision Striker.
Itu dia tadi.
Ya itu
Justru
dia
ini
kan
kebalik kan?
saving strat.
Kebalik
Saving
ya,
strat.
kebalik. Kalau map pertama kita nggak nyangka Heaven di-pick sama Full Sense, sekarang Brisnya juga di-pick sama Vision Strikers. Oke, ini baru match pertama Sam. Hari pertama.
Baru match pertama udah membagongkan begini ya. Ya, ini kabar buruk sih sebenarnya buat tim Asia Tenggara lainnya ya kalau ternyata gap kita masih sejauh itu even sama tetangga kita cuy.
Masih untuk Asia ya.
Masih untuk Asia. Jadi Vision either Full Sense-nya yang sebenarnya emang jago, cuman Vision Strikers-nya yang meningkat jauh dibandingkan dengan Masters Berlin karena seperti yang lu bilang tadi kan kayak mereka udah berapa 2 bulan ngilang. 2,5 bulan ngilang. Ada sesuatu yang mereka lakukan dong pasti. Gak mungkin mereka 2,5 bulan tuh liburan kemana, ke Bahamas kan. Jadi udah pasti nih mereka ngapa-ngapain nih. Sementara Full Sense ya mereka baru lolos dari LCQ, waktu persiapan mungkin gak begitu banyak. Jadi ya mereka main dengan apa yang mereka bisa dari LCQ. Dan sekarang pressure makin berat ada di sisi mereka karena sekarang mereka udah kalah 1 map. Dan ini dia agent selection yang dipersembahkan oleh Prime Gaming. Di map Breeze ada Mako, Bass, Tex, King dan juga RB menggunakan Viper, Jet, Sky, Cypher dan juga Sofa.
Dan ini mirror pick tentunya ya untuk Full Sense juga. Jadi menarik. Aku selalu suka sih sama mirror pick kayak gini.
Jadi
karena
jadi adil.
Jadi adil ya.
Adu mekanik aja ya.
Adu mekanik.
Adu strategi, adu inisiasi lah kalau bisa dibilang. Karena tadi bisa dibilang kayak Full Sense pas mereka tukeran site ya. Mereka coba copy tuh. Mereka kasih babysit ya, coba babysit nih PTC-nya dikasih tuh orb-nya. Tapi pas mereka mau coba eksekusi, nggak sama dengan Vision Striker tadi map pertama.
Ya di sini kalau kita lihat memang dari segi line up untuk agentnya, siapakah yang kira-kira bakal dimakanin lagi untuk Vision Strikers? Apakah mereka akan menggunakan strats yang sama atau bakal sedikit berbeda? Karena ada Sofa sekarang, di mana Sofa pastinya ini adalah map yang sangat luas sekali ya teman-teman. Breeze apalagi untuk area mid-nya yang bisa di-cover dari 3 sisi sebagai defender. Jadi agak sedikit berat memang kalau tidak menggunakan Sofa dan itulah sebabnya kita melihat ada Sofa bisa mendapatkan intel yang luar biasa banyak ketika mau coba untuk masuk ke B atau bahkan ke side A sendiri. Jadi menurutku udah pas banget, tinggal bagaimana nanti eksekusi dari mereka sendiri. Dari Vision Strikers ataupun dari Full Sense karena sekarang Full Sense sebagai defender pertama kali. Jadi mereka harus bisa ya at least menahan lah angka-angka dari si Vision Strikers.
Karena emang backside-nya Breeze ini luas kan.
Banget.
Nah itu
banget. Mau saya tambahkan
parah boy, jauh banget.
Mau saya tambahkan gitu.
Jauh banget. Nah, makanya kalau kena recon tuh biasanya lu kalau mau ya lu antara lu udah mantengin, kalau enggak kalau lu lagi asik mantengin musuh tahu-tahu ada recon di belakang udah pasrah aja. Makanya lu juga butuh Sky karena ada toxic screen dari Viper. Jadi kalau lu bawa Viper, lu bawa Sky karena ini combo yang bagus dan Super Bass langsung digigit Dogi. Sementara dari Bass langsung udah dapetin side, piramid kanan udah diisi. John Olsen terdink di sini. Dan nampaknya ronde pertama berjalan dengan cukup cepat. Dan Super Bass gagal mendapatkan kill. King mampu mendapatkan double kill. Tidak ada map control sama sekali bagi Full Sense. Piramid mereka nggak punya. Dan mereka cuma bawa Lemmy Snacks yang masih hidup untuk mendapatkan intel. John Olsen Masih bermain dengan Sheriff di sini. Buster tag ke 45 HP, shock dart udah masuk semua dari Lemmy, tapi masih belum ada satupun pemain dari Vision Strikers yang tumbang. Satu pemain crossing, John Olsen connect satu kill ke arah Stax. Waktu terus berdetik, Lemmy Stax mampu mendapatkan kill. 2 lawan 3 sekarang, King super low HP, tapi dia tinggal membuy waktu saja. Snakebite udah masuk, ini nggak akan bisa di recover. Dash in dari John Olsen, dan bahkan Arby pun mampu mendapatkan seorang John Olsen. Lemmy Stax bahkan tidak. Oh my god!
What?
That is humiliating. Lu lihat
itu nge-weave-nya sih.
Lu lihat Arby kasih bokong coy.
Iya, dia putar balik loh. Oh my god. Dan bahkan kayak Mako justru yang dapetin poin kill-nya tadi.
Lu lihat. Ini
Oke, mereka masuk cepat lah tadi, Son.
Iya, benar. Eksekusi cepat dan
itu bisa dibilang kayak Calalai motor jauh banget loh. Itu
dikasih pantat coy. Asli.
Oh my god, Lemmy Stax. Aduh. 1-0 untuk Vision Strikers kali ini. Wow, ada apa ya dengan Full Sense? Oke. It's okay, move on ke round yang kedua. Reset lagi untuk Full Sense kali ini. Aku coba untuk nahan terlebih dahulu dari area cave-nya. Dan Bas mau coba masuk ke area hall terlebih dahulu, tapi dia bakal coba ngecek aja, kasih info ke beberapa pemain dari Vision Striker. Kali ini John Olsen menjaga di area mid door-nya. Kali ini bakal coba ngecek terlebih dahulu dengan Aldron. Ada toxic screen yang langsung di pop up gitu saja. Ini posisi yang jarang dicek banget sih dari Super Bass sendiri. Oh, tapi itu udah ketahuan karena dia harus pecahin itu Aldron-nya dan langsung ditumbangkan. Bass kali ngedapetin 1, 2 pemain PTC dan 3 kah karena ada 1 orang di area stair, tapi ternyata masih ada Bass, masih ada dash untuk seorang Bass, sorry. Dan bahkan kalau kita ngeliat dari John Olsen sudah terlihat low banget Bass ngedapetin pemain ketiga kali ini. 4 kah? Enggak, ternyata Lemmy Stax masih bisa melakukan trade ke arah seorang Bass. Dan bahkan kali ini Calala lagi dan lagi post plan dilakukan. Lemmy Stax dapetin 1 pemain kali ini. Ternyata dari King yang menutup kemenangan untuk Vision Strikers di round yang kedua. Iya,
dan lu lihat tadi Super Bass sebenarnya udah di posisi mati ya. Itu posisi yang kalau lu udah pasti dicek, apalagi drone udah kedengeran. Super Bass harusnya ketika udah tahu drone terbangnya ke arah dia harusnya cabut. Cuman dia mencoba berharap kalau semoga Vision Strikers buat kesalahan gak dicek. Semoga Vision Strikers nggak nonton Coach Andy ya kan, nggak cek corner. Semoga ternyata dicek cornernya. Dan tentunya itu udah posisi mati. Dan sekarang kalau kita lihat dari Full Sense, mereka masih bermain di posisi cukup default. Dan Super Bass main dari arah side B sekarang, tapi langsung tumbang di tangan King. Coba untuk mendapatkan kill, tapi objektif utama dari seorang Viper bukan untuk mendapatkan kill doang. Dia harus menahan nyawa selama mungkin untuk at least ngebuy waktu bagi teman-temannya datang. Jadi 1 kill ini mungkin nggak begitu efektif, apalagi yang didapetin cuman Bass. Dan sekarang 4 lawan 4. John Olsen mulai merapat. Dan sekarang 2 pemain dari balik broken wall. Kamera berhasil nge-tag. Oh, Lemmy mendapatkan King. Guiding light dari Stax dibuka dan langsung di-pick. Terding pula. Oh, 2 ding dari Stax tapi tidak mampu mendapatkan kill. Drone dibuka oleh Arby. Line up gaming ya guys ya, dengan shock dart-nya di sini. Apakah mampu akan menculik? Oh, ternyata John Olsen nge-push. Tapi masih belum ada tap the view sama sekali. Masih ada waktu harusnya. Oh my god, untung John Olsen nge-push. Arby tadi terlalu lugu mencoba untuk line up shock dart, terlalu lama juga. Dan keputusan yang tepat dilakukan oleh Full Sense. Wow, itu udah keringet dingin tuh.
Iya.
Asli.
Dan dia posisinya juga udah ketahuan dan langsung di wallbang juga dari John Olsen nih ya. Kali ini untungnya dia langsung dapetin Mako ya. Padahal tadi kalau aku lihat juga itu bagus banget post plan-nya dari Snakebite-nya Mako. Tapi sayangnya masih ada waktu untuk tim Full Sense ngedapetin poin pertama.
Yes.
Nah, ini udah mulai nih harusnya.
Round by round.
Yap. Dan ini round yang keempat kali ini. John Olsen menjaga terlebih dahulu di area piramidnya. Udah ada 1 guiding light yang di pop up. Ngecek terlebih dahulu ke area A. Bass coba untuk menjaga. Dan Super Bass kali ini dengan Guardian nih ya. Coba untuk masukkah ke area A? Enggak, sepertinya akan split terlebih dahulu. RB posisinya udah ketahuan harusnya di area mid door. Karena ada satu kamera yang bisa ngecek meskipun tipis banget sih untuk visionnya sendiri.
Jadi ini dia main ini dia main buat ngecek ke cave, tapi udah langsung dihancurin oleh seorang Bas. Udah ketahuan kayaknya kalau suka naruh kamera di situ. Dan ini udah tinggal nunggu eksekusi aja. Lu lihat belum ada toxic screen yang dilempar, jadi nggak ketahuan Vipernya main di mana. Sementara ditungguin raw pick. Bas bener-bener pede banget. Mana? Oh my god, what the second one as well? Ke arah Calalala.
Tapi...
Wah gila, itu clean banget dan PTC ngebokong nih dari belakang. Nggak ada yang expect trap wire-nya ditaruh jauh tapi gagal mendapatkan kill. Oh my god. Oh no. Again, this is not looking good. Lamis next. Ini kelar sih.
Itu nge-whiff yang udah kedua kalinya dan King berhasil numbangin Lamis next justru. Dan menyisakan Super Bass sendirian aja. 1 versus everybody. Apa yang bisa dilakukan oleh Super Bass?
Ya, ini menurut gua mukjizat pun nggak akan cukup untuk memenangkan Super Bass ronde ini.
Tadi juga kameranya dia astaga gimana nih? Apakah aku harus nge-save?
Dia udah ego, ya.
Aduh. Ego.
Ya.
Salah tim. Salah tim, Pak. Aduh.
Udah PR banget sih, udah nggak bisa sih boy, asli. Dan well, 1-3 Vision Strikers main raw pick. Jadi ketika toxic screen-nya nggak ketahuan,
mereka main
mereka
surprise
juga,
aja.
Iya, mereka juga sama main. Ya udah kita main pelan juga aja nih, kita main kontak pelan, pakai operator di attacker side. Dan lu lihat nih.
Sabar dong.
Itu susah loh nembak kayak gitu karena itu shoulder pick hitungan detik dan kill keduanya ke arah Calalala. Bersih banget.
Itu kayak cepat ya, dia langsung pick dari kiri, pindah langsung ke kanan dan 2 pemainnya tumbang. Yang anchor yang ngejagain side A-nya justru tumbang dan pastinya mudah untuk Vision Striker dapetin side A. Dan kali ini masuk round yang kelima, 3-1. Pegang oleh Vision Striker. Olsen coba untuk ngambil orb terlebih dahulu. Dan ada watch this kali ini dari John Olsen. Karena Bas akan coba untuk jaga di area hall-nya terlebih dahulu. Ngecek nggak ada siapa-siapa, karena hall-nya udah pasti kayak jarang ada yang jaga sih.
Sekarang lagi-lagi arah side A. Sumpah ketika mereka tahu ini toxic screen gak ada di A, mereka juga main santai aja. Toxic screen gak langsung dilempar, makin gampang buat drone-nya ngecek. Sekarang A-nya udah free take. Dan bahkan berhasil ngetek satu pemain dari arah defender spawn. Plan default, gak ada counter sama sekali dari Full Sense. Karena memang ini eco round, tapi ya mereka main jauh dengan senjata seminimalis ini PR juga. Apalagi mereka nggak di Marshall, mereka main pakai Sheriff. John Olsen emang connect 1 kill, tapi ada Mako yang langsung nge-refrag di sini. Nahan garis belakang dari Vision Strikers. Siap-siap untuk line up. Apakah akan kena timing, tapi lu lihat kedisiplinan dari... Loh! Timingnya ya ampun bisa begitu! Astaga! RB di sini dapat 1. Remis next mampu dapetin kill dengan shock dart 2 lawan 2, tapi Bas juga mengeluarkan Blade-Storm dan mampu membukukan 2 kill. Ronde apa ini barusan? Terlalu banyak lohe momentos. Aduh.
Itu timing banget sih, Mako.
Timingnya ya ampun.
Dia udah nungguin.
Gue baru bilang kedisiplinan nih.
Iya, dia udah keren banget ya,
keren banget nih, boy. Ternyata Jack.
Aduh, ternyata kamu udah dipuji, Son. Tapi untungnya RB-nya dia sempet dapetin trade juga. Dan itu cepet banget, dapetinnya 2 lagi. Wow, Bas juga dia. Astaga, Full Sense. Kali ini udah mulai ketinggal cukup jauh, 3 poin. 4-1 untuk Vision Striker masuki round yang ke-6.
A-nya tuh selalu free take banget. Mereka nggak pernah menang fight loh di A ini. Kayak mereka nggak pernah ngusir Vision Strikers dari A. Ya at least sekali lah mungkin. Cuman ya ini gue lihat sendiri. PR banget. Masuk ke dalam side aja nggak bisa. Dan sekarang lu lihat betapa free-nya mid control untuk Vision Strikers. Dan harusnya mid control ini susah untuk diambil. Cuman karena Vision Strikers terus memberikan pressure ke arah side A, mereka jadi lepas mid-nya. Dan mid-nya jadi gratis untuk Vision Strikers. Jadi ada persepsi yang dibangun oleh Vision Strikers dan mereka memainkan hal tersebut. Neural Theft dibuka dan dengan hall yang udah diambil, cut rotation udah ada, tentu side A lagi yang bakal digas. Seeker sudah keluar, Mo. Dan Toxic Screen didirikan, ini bakal default take lagi.
Oke, dan udah ketahuan posisi dari Calala. Tumbang oleh King. Dapetin 2 pemain tadi. Hampir aja John Olsen harusnya bisa maksimalin momentum itu, namun ternyata malah Kingnya yang masih bisa numbangin John Olsen di area jembatannya. What? Sayang banget dari John Olsen. Kali ini bisa kan habis next. Shockdartnya oke.
Shockdartnya mantul ke atas.
Dan misalkan 2 pemain aja, aku rasa ini kalau mereka nggak nge-save juga perekonomian mereka kayaknya agak hancur sih, San.
Ini save sih harusnya. Dan King di sini tentunya masih bisa diculik oleh Super Bass, tapi lebih dari itu nggak bisa.
Wah, tajam banget.
Nggak bisa sih. Asli ini full sense bener-bener gak dikasih main sama sekali. Lu lihat itu hole-nya gratis diambil sama King. Terus dia udah cut rotation dan kerja sama yang luar biasa banget menurut gua, kayak dia lempar Cypher's Cage di arah double door hall buat nutup pintunya nih, terus dia buka ya kan. Nah begitu pas udah kebuka, recon atau drone dari si RB ini masuk, ngetek, kena. Dan ya itu combo yang gila banget sih, gue nggak pernah kepikiran bakal dimainin kayak gitu.
Sinkron banget sih.
Dia
kayak timingnya
pinter banget. Cypher's Cage-nya ini dipakai buat nyembunyiin kalau pintu ini dibuka karena hole-nya emang free kan. Wah.
Tapi malah justru dia yang kemakan sama.
Asli ini King.
Ini gue merasa kayak full sense bener-bener disetir sih sama Vision Striker.
Wah ini udah disetir, diceburin ke jurang coy.
Makanya.
Asli gak dikasih main sama sekali. Apapun yang full sense lakukan selalu tercounter. Vision Striker sudah, ya seperti yang lu bilang, udah main permainan mereka sendiri.
Dan bahkan lu bayangin aja ketika duelist lu gak bisa kayak nge-kill ke arah orang yang lagi coba untuk kayak itu, dia belum kelar loh Lami Snack nembaknya. John Olsen-nya belum tumbang. Tapi dia juga gak bisa nge-kill gitu loh ke arah Lami Snack.
Lu bayangin, tadi John Olsen udah ngeding nih. Siapa tahu King udah ngeding. Terus dia udah banting kan, udah kira udah mati. John Olsen tuh masih hidup tuh, masih bisa ngebunuh. Oleh Miss Next lah. Masih gak mati coy.
Iya makanya. Itu yang gue bilang. Astaga, dan kali ini.
Itu sih udah takabur loh si King ya.
Iya.
Ya ampun. Di sini Bas dapat 1. Stacksnya keculik lagi. Ini kesempatan emas nih mau untuk bisa menangin 1 ronde lagi lah at least di first half.
Iya. Tapi apakah bisa dari full sense ya? Kali ini King udah jaga, ada Cyber Cage yang di pop up. Dan ngecek di sebelah kanan Lami Snack-nya dapetin King meskipun Calalanya tumbang di tangan seorang King kali ini. John Olsen mulai masuk, Stax dapet di area backside tapi Super Bass bisa dapetin Mako. RB pun posisinya udah dead end banget sih itu.
Dan ini ronde menang purely full sense karena John Olsen make a play dengan Marshall-nya, dia bikin space. Cuman lu nggak bisa ngandelin make a play gini untuk dapetin ronde. Kita nggak, dari map pertama bahkan menurut gua, kita nggak pernah ngelihat full sense menang by system. Menang by set piece, menang by nice hold, yang basically menang karena utility mereka bagus aja, kayak taruh tripwire di sini, taruh di sana, babat. Cuman pasti ada aja satu pemain yang harus nge-kill 3 atau mungkin purely menang battle of aim di ronde tersebut. Nggak pernah kita ngelihat full sense menang bersih. Jadi ya ini secara kualitas Vision Striker sudah lebih kuat. Lu lihat ekonominya, stack 9.000 coy.
Iya.
Masih bisa buy di 2 ronde selanjutnya bahkan ini Vision Strikers.
Oke, 5-2 kali ini. Apakah akan mendapatkan poin yang ketiga untuk full sense? John Olsen bakal coba nge-pick cepet dari area double door-nya. Tapi nggak bisa ngedapetin siapapun karena belum ada yang nyebrang juga tadi. Sementara RB bakal coba ngecek terlebih dahulu dengan all drone-nya kali ini. Bas. Oke, udah terkena kali ini dan ketahuan posisi dari seorang Bas. Ada Cyber Cage. Bakal di pop up, John Olsen udah siap harusnya dengan posisinya kali ini. Oke, ada dash, tapi ternyata lagi dan lagi King yang berhasil memberikan distraction kali ini, tapi Super Bass mencoba untuk menahan, tapi ternyata Bass pun yang bisa menumbangkan Super Bass kali ini. Ada 1 ultimate yang di pop up oleh seorang Calala kali ini. Coba untuk mencari tahu terlebih dahulu dan bahkan kali ini udah benar-benar dikontrol habis-habisan oleh Vision Striker dari side A-nya. Bas, lihat ada 1 yang nyebrang dari area stair. Tapi apakah akan bisa ngedapetin beberapa pemain ini full sense? 3 pemain tersisa dan bahkan ada 1 Trailblazer bersama dengan 1 guiding light di pop up. Tapi nggak bisa ngedapetin siapapun, mereka buta banget.
Iya, nggak bisa, ini udah Viper Speed dibuka ke arah piramid. Itu udah basically game over kalau lu udah nggak punya utility sama sekali. Jadi ya 2-6 lagi-lagi Vision Strikers. Dari ini Wah, ya ampun, PTC emang bisa dapetin stacks, cuman ya apa artinya kill tersebut? Kita ngelihat banyak kill kayak di map pertama, John Olsen emang top frag, tapi banyak banget killnya ini nggak impactful. Kita nggak ngelihat permainan John Olsen dan PTC yang begitu mengerikan, membuat space, game changing, nge-hold angle. Itu nggak kelihatan sama sekali di pertandingan ini. Kayak bukan apa ya? Kayak kena pressure, mental pressure yang begitu berat sehingga mereka nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain. Kayak ketika lu tahu ketika PTC nembak punggung aja nggak mati, ya, there's something wrong with full sense.
Bener. Oke, mid-nya. Olsen. What? Wilson!
Udah.
Oh my god!
Udah kelar, udah lah, mau. Sumpah. Udah.
Gue baru mau bilang, berhasil dapetin satu di mid, tapi ternyata tidak jadi, Son.
Kena kaki pun enggak loh itu.
Astaga.
Kena kaki pun enggak loh, coy. Asli, ini sih, ya ini...
Oke.
Ini
Tapi kita udah bilang, Son, dari awal, full sense, kalau misalnya John Olsen yang gak bersinar, gak main, ya inilah nasibnya full sense.
Iya. Kenapa gue sepede itu ya buat ngeprediksi full sense ya? Gue percaya banget loh sama mereka, tapi ternyata,
ternyata.
Waduh. Oh, Calalala, apakah bisa menyelamatkan ronde ini? Berhasil nyulik. Itu PTC yang nembak. Masih gak kena juga, aduh gimana ini? Guys,
Wilson, guys, kalau kalian lihat Wilson sekarang dia udah pegang kepala, udah pengen nangis rasanya. Oke.
Karena gue nggak expect akan diobok-obok ini, tau nggak? Kayak mungkin bakal diobok, tapi nggak sampai obok-obok.
Oboknya nggak
sampai 2 kali. Ini diobok-obok, coy.
Oke, Super Bass dapetin King di area backside-nya, tapi 2 lawan 3 kali ini dengan spike yang sudah di-plan di round yang ke-9. Bass lagi-lagi ngedapetin Super Bass. Bahkan kali ini dapetin 2 pemain yang tersisa. Calala pun hilang. Kowa juga sudah geleng-geleng kepala. Ini astaga. Son, gue tahu perasaan lo, karena gue percaya juga sama full sense, ngerti gak lo?
Iya.
Gue percaya banget sama John Olsen yang jetnya kalau lagi on fire tuh.
Iya. Karena waktu kita nonton di LCQ ya,
wah gila.
Lawan mereka ini kalau misalkan mereka LCQ itu isinya saya doang, gue nggak bakal prediksi full sense.
Sama.
Karena isinya tuh ada Jepang, ada Korea.
Mereka
13-0 Nucun.
Iya makanya.
Ya Nucun nggak cupu-cupu banget lah ya di scene Korea. Mereka ngalahin Damwon cuman.
Peringkat 3 loh.
Ya ini menurut gue udah mental sih. Kayak kelihatan banget pressure-nya. Ketika lu ngelihat pemain yang sakit banget terus ketika offline nembak gak kena, itu udah mental cuy. Dan susah banget untuk ngebangkitin atau at least nge-recover dari itu kecuali dengan jam terbang. Ya, acceptable juga full sense kalah di sini. Jadi, ya kita lihat aja John Olsen. Lu lihat ini trapwire ditaruh dari arah hall buat nahan push dari arah defender side. PTC ini udah gatel banget pengen nge-push, cuman masih ada Mako yang nahanin. Jadi ketika trapwire itu kena bakal dimakan juga. Jadi nggak cuman sekedar buat jaga-jaga doang. Dan akhirnya dilepas juga trapwire itu. Kita lihat masih ada King yang nahan punggung dan ya itu dia John Olsen ditumbangin sama Bass. Calalala mampu mendapatkan King. Jadi backstep ini masih bisa dimainin sama full sense. Red Super Bass udah mulai merapat, ada toxic screen yang didirikan kembali. Tentu bakal dimainin dengan guiding light. Bass memang dapat 1, Calalala double kill. 2 lawan 2 sekarang. The game is on. Full sense masih bisa mencuri 1 angka. Neural theft dibuka oleh Calalala. Snack bite untuk mendelay. Dan drone dibuka tapi RB berhasil mendapatkan Calalala. Masa ia bisa di wallbang di situ Lemmy Snakes? Tentu tidak, dan tentu saja akan RB yang mendapatkan kill tersebut. 28 full sense. Benar-benar pertandingan ini doesn't make any sense.
Ini kayak gue ngerasa kayak one-sided banget sih.
One-sided sih.
Gue kira map keduanya full sense bakal reset gitu ya, coba comeback lagi at least. Karena pas 3 round pertama itu oke, mereka akhirnya 2-0 kan, terus 2-1 nih, dapetin 1 poin. Ternyata cuma cukup 2 poin doang buat full sense di first half nih. Tapi nggak tahu ya, ini masih 28. Round yang ke-11 kali ini dan ada time out.
Sudahlah.
Kenapa sih Son? Gak apa-apa, masih berharap nih, masih berharap.
Aduh. Ini time out yang telat banget sih menurut gua. Harusnya di 26 mereka udah nge-call time out ini. Mentok mereka menang 4 di defender side.
Ya.
Dan itu side yang mereka pilih. Jadi berat sih.
Barusan sampai speechless
Gak bisa cuy. Karena ketika lu udah kalah mental, there's nothing you can do. Lu punya gameplay sebanyak apapun, nembak gak kena, kelar.
Iya benar juga sih. Kayak lu mau datang kayak, oke kita ubah strategi nih. Set, nanti lu begini, tapi
nembaknya
pas...
gak kena mau.
Iya makanya. Ya kita tahu ya game FPS, lu sampai nembak gak kena, itu udah berarti there's something wrong with your aim gitu kan.
Kayak tadi di mid John Olsen pakai operator, orang nge-walk cuy. Gak kena coy. Itu kalau di saya mati itu orang. Gak cuman dia doang, orang di belakangnya juga mati cuy. Kalau di saya, cuman gue nggak tahu ya. Karena gue ngelihatnya juga Vision Strikers ini aimnya juga nggak yang gimana banget.
Gak yang
juga.
headshot one tap itu kan.
Nggak sampai Naujubillah bin Jalik juga. Masih doable gitu loh. Jadi ngelihatnya tuh kayak ini lebih ke full sense-nya yang nggak kena daripada Vision Strikers-nya yang nggak ngasih kesempatan full sense sama sekali. Lu lihat berapa banyak kesempatan full sense bisa nge-kill Vision Strikers dengan gratis, tapi mereka nggak bisa dapetin itu.
Lu bayangin aja kayak Lamis Next aja udah dikasih punggung.
Dikasih punggung cuy,
kagak,
asli. Itu
kagak
sih
kena loh.
Itu bener-bener sakit di hati cuy. Itu bakal malam ini nggak tidur nyenyak itu sih Lamis Next.
Ada apa dengan aimku ya. Astaga. Dan kali ini kita akan move on ke round yang ke-11. 8-2 untuk Vision Striker. Nih lagi-lagi John Olsen akan ngecek di area mid door terlebih dahulu. Bantu dengan adanya satu Guiding Light dan juga ngecek dengan Trailblazer. RB langsung memecahkan Trailblazer tersebut, tapi Stax RB ngedapetin satu, ditukar. Ada John Olsen yang ngedapetin King juga, tapi Stax langsung menumbangkan lagi jangkarnya. John Olsen lagi dan lagi. Ini dua pemain kunci udah tumbang dari Full Sense. Dan 4 lawan 3. Coba masuk ke area A-nya lagi-lagi, ini berarti A-nya kosong harusnya. Karena posisinya mereka tadi tembusin dari area double door.
Nah,
tapi masih ditahan nih.
Ya, ini masih ditahan, ada snake bite dari Super Bass, nge-buy sedikit waktu, tapi little did he know, semua pemain dari Vision Strikers udah ada di dalam site. Toxic Screen diturunkan dan Bass di sini udah pegang operator di Seekers pula. Tentu ketahuan Super Bass ada di dalam site. Dan di sini, kalau misalkan kita lihat dari Bass, udah mainin Toxic Screen aja, oh my god. Oh, nice shot banget dari Bass, langsung cabut mengedodge semua dartnya. Oh, bahkan masih bisa selamat. 2 lawan 4 sekarang dan ya, kelar sih. Nggak bisa. Gue udah mencoba sekuat tenaga untuk membangun persepsi kalau Full Sense masih bisa comeback. Cuman ngelihat ini tuh udah susah banget coy. Asli, lu lihat combo John Olsen PTC. Itu unbeatable biasanya. Dan mereka di mid KO coy. KO bener-bener.
Itu tipis banget loh pada nge-picknya Stax. Ini Bass, dia berkali-kali juga dengan operatornya. Padahal tadi kayak Bassnya ya berhasil dipukul mundur memang dari area side. Tapi nggak tumbang. 9-2 untuk Vision Striker guys. Wow. Hayo, siapa yang pegang Vision Striker? Siapa yang pegang Full Sense?
Aduh, ya ampun.
Ke-12.
Ya, ronde ke-12. Penentuan Vision Strikers kalau menang di sini, menang pistol round di second half, GG harusnya untuk Full Sense.
Iya, tapi nggak tahu ya. Dengan performa mereka yang kayak gini sih sulit sih. PTC coba untuk timing banget ditinggal, ternyata dia malah milih untuk dia bisa dapetin RB. Oke, dapetin satu, tapi Super Bass masih menjaga di area A-nya. Dapetin satu lagi dari Lamis Next, King-nya tumbang. Bassnya yang udah mulai masuk, tapi dia sendirian kali ini. Misalkan satu pemain saja dari dan bahkan itu tadi dia coba untuk menghancurkan utility di area mid, tapi ternyata Lamis Next yang lebih siap posisinya di area mid-nya.
Iya, kayak lagi-lagi ada yang make a play, ada yang
PTC
nge-push dari belakang PTC. Baru mereka bisa dapetin angka, dan itu nggak akan kejadian terlalu sering di sebuah pertandingan FPS. Sekali, 2 kali, dan bener aja kejadian 3 kali itu di first half. Ada yang make a play. Cuman apakah itu akan kejadian tiap ronde? Gue nggak yakin juga.
Apalagi lawannya Vision Striker yang lebih peka banget.
Bener-bener Vision Strikers dapat saya tuh gratis banget 9 ronde yang mereka menangin. Kayak Ngehit tuh pasti kena, Gak pernah nih Full Sense bener-bener bisa kayak shutdown dengan pure utility kayak di combo sama Trapwire kayak atau apa kayak itu kita nggak lihat itu work dari Full Sense. Jadi
gak ada momentum yang bener-bener kayak wow banget gitu loh dari Full Sense, kayak mereka bisa nahan side-nya dengan bener-bener bagus.
Betul.
Dan bahkan kayak mereka justru kecolongan terlebih dahulu sebelum Vision Striker masuk ke side-nya.
Ya, karena ketika lu gagal nge-hold side berkali-kali, musuh nggak akan geter untuk masuk ke dalam side itu. Jadi mereka udah kayak ya udah gas aja, orang gampang side-nya kan. Mereka nggak ada alasan untuk ngubah kayak guiding line lu jangan kesini aja. Karena dari tadi Full Sense mainnya ya begitu-begitu aja sebenarnya, nggak beda jauh. Karena apapun yang mereka mainkan tembus juga itu sama Vision Strikers. Jadi ya Entek Hub.
Oke, ini bakal jadi
comeback
match yang sulit sih.
Ya, ini bakal jadi comeback yang gila banget sih kalau somehow, someway Full Sense bisa menang.
Tapi ya kita udah tahu ya posisinya ini udah jauh banget. 3 poin dipegang Full Sense dan 9 untuk Vision Strikers. Dan sebentar lagi akan selesai untuk first half kita. Jadi semua balik lagi. Apalagi aku merasa ya dengan adanya, aku merasa kayak Breeze ini map yang menurut aku kalau defense-nya kuat, wah itu udah pasti susah banget gitu loh untuk masuk ke area side-nya ya. Jadi nggak tahu nih nanti kalau misalnya Full Sense di bagian sisi attackernya gimana nih nasibnya.
Iya. Ini akan menjadi malam yang panjang bagi Full Sense kalau somehow mereka bisa nge-comeback match pertama kali ini, yang dimana gue pesimis itu akan terjadi. Gue ngeliat kayak wah di map pertama pertandingan pertama nih kesempatan nih Full Sense bisa menang nih, ternyata tidak juga. Jadi ya ini bakal jadi comeback tergila yang pernah terjadi menurut gue di stage internasional kalau somehow Full Sense, bukan karena skornya ya, karena gue sering banget ngeliat skor 9-3, 8-4 tapi sengit.
Iya.
Kayak trade satu lawan satu. Kita nggak ngeliat itu di sini. Ini pure
one-sided.
Pure one-sided 9-3-nya. Jadi makanya itu bakal jadi comeback yang gila banget, dan dengan permainan kayak tadi gue nggak pede sih.
Iya. Dan bahkan kayak kita mengharapkan Full Sense yang harusnya performanya sebagus LCQ.
Iya.
Tapi ternyata tidak kita lihat di hari pertama nih Son.
Iya. Karena kita kan tolak ukurnya waktu itu ngeliat Vision Strikers lawan Gambit. Ampun, gak dikasih main sama sekali.
Benar.
Cuman ya waktu itu lawan Gambit sih.
Lawannya Gambit.
Iya, to their defense ya kan, yang keluar sebagai juara juga.
Betul.
Dan sekarang Full Sense yang ekspektasi besar banget. Performa mereka bagus di LCQ, terutama John Olsen sama PTC. Cuman ya gak kelihatan sama sekali mereka main di sini.
Betul. Kayak berkali-kali juga mereka dipatahin terus gitu loh. Toxic screen yang gak dibuka sama Mako, ini yang ngebuat Full Sense kayak bingung sebenarnya mereka mau ke A atau ke B gitu. Biasanya kan kalau orang main di Breeze tuh kayak ya udahlah ya ngelihat jalurnya Toxic Screen Viper aja biasanya. Tapi justru kayak Vision Striker mereka malah memberikan kejutan di map kedua kali ini.
Kita lihat di sini setup Toxic Screen di mid, dan itu akan membuat ruang bagi pemain-pemain Vision Strikers untuk nge-push tentunya. John Olsen gaspol, jadi ini emang set piece untuk pistol round bagi Full Sense. Dan PTC kita lihat di sini mampu mendapatkan 1 kill. John Olsen, tepatnya mendapatkan 2 kill. PTC juga mampu mendapatkan 1 kill. Jadi ini dia pistol round yang bisa dieksekusi oleh Full Sense. Dan nampaknya itu akan cukup untuk setidaknya memperpanjang nyawa mereka di map kedua. Itu purely set piece. Itu yang kita butuhkan dari Full Sense. Mereka lempar Toxic Screen ke mid. John Olsen lari langsung ke arah hall. Buka pintu, bikin space, dapetin 2 kill. Gak ada waktu bagi Vision Strikers untuk memberikan respon. Dan mereka memenangkan ronde tersebut.
Iya, dengan surprise inisiasi kayak gitu ya. Yang dibutuhkan mungkin untuk Full Sense. Mereka ngejar ketertinggalan poin mereka. Memenangkan pistol run. Tentunya awal yang baik untuk Full Sense kali ini setelah melakukan pertukaran side dan Vision Striker. Mereka harus benar-benar bertahan dengan pistol kali ini. Masih di round yang ke-14, John Olsen bakal coba untuk masuk ke area cave terlebih dahulu. Dan ada Toxic Screen ternyata dari Mako yang akan coba menahan pergerakan dari Full Sense di area cave-nya. Bas, coba menjaga di area yang menurut aku kayak itu harus banget dicek. Tapi harus ada backup juga tentunya. Karena dari piramid pasti tentunya akan memberikan backup juga.
Dan itu Toxic Screen dari Vision Strikers. Jadi emang Bas nih diinisiasikan untuk main nakal ya. Apalagi di eco round di mana dia pakai klasik, kemungkinan besar itu paling dicek cuman sekelebat doang. Jadi bisa bikin upset di situ. Jadi ini ada sesuatu yang ingin dimainkan sama Vision Strikers dengan Narobas di situ. Pertanyaannya adalah apakah bakal di drone dulu? Harusnya sih. Wah, drone udah nggak ada Trailblazer pula. Ini Bas bisa nge-kill sih menurut gua. Trailblazer udah dipakai, dihancurin langsung. Jadi Bas nih masih belum kecek. Di guiding light langsung. Oh, Bas masuk, dapat Spectre, dapat 2 kill. Bahkan mungkin yang ketiga. Untungnya Lemis Next masih bisa recover. Tapi ini menjadi mengerikan. Karena ini adalah ronde Eco untuk Vision Strikers. RB udah ketahuan posisinya, ngeding Super Bass. Dan dia tahu dia ngeding Super Bass. Jumping shot, reload. Masih ada waktu, untungnya Super Bass bisa recover posisi dia. Dan di sini Mako mampu mendapatkan 1 kill, 1 lawan 2 sekarang. 2 pemain udah ada di side. Dibuka dulu di sini pintunya untuk membuat pemain-pemain full sense overthinking tentunya. Sementara dia sendiri akan ke arah dari cave.
Iya, dan belum ada yang sadar. 2 pemain dari full sense belum sadar, masih coba untuk nahan ke area city, ke area bridge-nya, masih coba untuk dicek terlebih dahulu. Tapi ingat, John Olsen di sini dengan Marshall ya. Ada 1 Spectre di tangan Mako. Udah mulai berbalik, udah ketahuan harusnya posisi dari seorang Mako, tapi John Olsen coba pindah terlebih dahulu posisinya, dan Lemis Next masih bisa untuk menutup kemenangan 1 poin untuk tim Full Sense.
Iya, hampir setup Bas itu berhasil ya. Itu kalau dia agak sabar dikit, nggak terlalu greedy, mungkin dia udah melakukan lebih dari cukup sih. Menurut gue dia terlalu greedy sih untuk Ghost Warmor yang ini ya. Itu menurut gue cabut aja. Dia masih punya dash, jadi terlalu greedy, membuat Thrifty gagal didapatkan oleh Vision Strikers. Jadi 1 minor mistake, roll langsung snowballing menjadi 1 ronde yang didapatkan oleh Full Sense. 5-9, asa mereka tetap hidup. Ronde bonus akan dimainkan di sini oleh Full Sense. John Olsen dengan Marshall. Kita tahu apa yang bisa dilakukan oleh pemain ini dengan Marshall di tangannya. Tapi selama ini belum terlalu bersinar performanya, terutama di map pertama. Dan sekarang dari arah mid, PTC masih menahan, akan membuka jalan. Nampaknya toxic screen didirikan, membuat jalan bagi Stax semakin mudah untuk bermain dari balik toxic screen.
Gak ada yang tahu. Ini
gak ada yang tahu, tapi dia juga takut kalau bakal dipantekin, jadi masih main-main aja di balik pilar. Dan PTC bakal nembusin balik smoke yang dibuka oleh Mako.
Iya, dan bersembunyi kali ini di area smoke-nya. Bas, ini sebelahan doang. Tapi Stax ngedapetin Calala, membuat PTC harus mundur, tapi ketahuan langsung sama Bas. Karena itu posisi yang benar-benar kayak dia bingung banget. Temennya tumbang di area mid dan dia stuck di situ. Nelson kali ini udah mulai masuk ke area A-nya. Tapi langsung tumbang di tangan seorang Mako. 2 pemain tersisa untuk Full Sense kali ini. Oke, ada 1 Trailblazer, tapi ternyata Lemis Next masih bisa ngedapetin 1, dan Bas langsung menutup poin yang ke-10 untuk Vision Strikers setelah menumbangkan 3 pemain dari Full Sense.
Ya, terlalu pelin-pelan ya, kita lihat tadi pergerakan dari arah midnya kayak agak terlalu ragu. Andai kan mereka udah langsung, ya udah gas aja yuk. Kayak PD di pistol round, mungkin menang. Cuman mereka terlalu ragu di midnya. Mereka terlalu mikirin, ini Vision Strikers bisa ada di mana nih, bisa ada di sini, bisa ada di situ. Gak masuk-masuk cuy jadinya. Dan lu lihat posisinya justru udah KO sendiri, mencoba memanfaatkan Poison Cloud, tapi ya gagal untuk mendapatkan kill. Dan sekarang mereka, lu lihat buy-nya ini acak adut. 3 rifle, 2 sheriff. Dan well, bukan buy yang meyakinkan untuk Full Sense tentunya. Sementara Vision Strikers, mereka berhasil nge-recover Phantom bahkan dari ronde sebelumnya. Jadi Full Sense ini bakal jadi ronde yang berat untuk mereka menangkan.
Yap, dan masih coba ditahan di area A-nya. Padahal bisa dibilang ini hole-nya hanya dijaga oleh RB ya. Kalau mereka mau coba untuk push ke arah hole, sebenarnya mungkin bisa jadi momentum untuk Full Sense sendiri. Tapi mereka lebih memilih untuk mengendalikan mid-nya. Full Sense kali ini rotasi terlebih dahulu ke area B-nya. Mereka nggak bisa masuk ke A, mereka coba langsung putar lagi masuk ke B, atau mereka mungkin justru mau buying time dulu karena masih 1 menit.
Ya, tapi mereka mencoba untuk memainkan mid control, tapi ini udah terlalu lama menurut gua. Jadi nggak ada plan B, itu dia. Karena emang Full Sense sukanya main lambat, tapi mereka main lambatnya tuh di belakang. Jadi beda dengan Vision Strikers yang ketika gagal mereka punya plan B. Karena masih ada waktu bagi Vision Strikers.
sekarang full sense mereka emang kalau udah gagal ya gagal karena nggak ada plan B-nya kayak ini nih. Ini kalau Stacks dapat, itu bisa aja digagalkan. Tapi lu lihat King dapat 3 pemain.
Gila.
Dan mungkin itu lebih dari cukup untuk nge-hold pemain-pemain dari full sense. Super Bass pun udah tertek ke 23 HP. Shock Dart hampir banget mengakhiri nyawa dari Super Bass. PTC mampu mendapatkan Mako, tapi Super Bass pun tumbang di tangan Bass. PTC harus make a play. 1v2 situation. Langsung di white pick oleh Bass. Dan 5-11 Vision Strikers akan langsung menghancurkan ekonomi dari Full Sense.
Iya, tadi mereka round ini mereka buy 3 rifles dan 2 sheriff ya. Dan melihat perekonomian dari Full Sense juga. Ini kalau misalnya Vision Strikers bisa dapetin poinnya berarti match point.
Ya.
Dan hanya butuh 1 poin tersisa untuk menutup kemenangan mereka di match yang kedua. Ini ditahan lama banget loh sama King. Dapetin 3 pemain. Meskipun akhirnya dia harus tumbang. Udah pede banget ya.
Udah pede banget.
Gila, ya lah mereka bisa dibilang kayak menang momentum, menang chemistry juga, komunikasinya bagus banget. Dan 11-5 kali ini. Dengan Arsenal yang masih bisa diamankan oleh Full Sense.
Ya, gila. King of side. Dan itu yang nggak bisa dilakukan oleh Full Sense di defender side. Menang default untuk nahannya. Jadi ya susah banget sekarang di attacker. Mereka harus mencoba. Seekers emang kena tapi ya bad at what cost. Lihat John Olsen udah gaspol aja masih nggak mati juga Jack. Masih nggak mati juga Jack. Dan ini Super Bass tentu waktu ulti. Welcome to mati juga. 3 lawan 4. Oh my god. Hancur-hancuran guys. Nggak bisa sama sekali. Ini susah banget bagi Full Sense untuk bahkan masuk ke dalam side. Mereka udah menang angle tapi masih nggak bisa nge-kill. Lihat Lemis next gagal mendapatkan Bass. Dan RB bikin overthinking di dalam Cyberscan. Tapi dia yang akan mampu mendapatkan kill. Drone dikeluarkan di sini. PTC udah harusnya ketahuan stepnya. Dan Stacks easy kill. 5-12 Vision Strikers.
Astaga.
Benar-benar membuat Full Sense terpusing-pusing.
Itu sulit banget ya, kayak John Olsen-nya tumbang. Dia padahal kayak posisinya Mako lagi kena apa ya, konkas dan bahkan kayak dari Super Bass-nya lagi mau coba keluarin Viper Speed. Gak ada yang nge-cover, ditumbangin. Dan ini yang memang membuat Full Sense kayak mereka berantakan banget sih. Aku nggak ngerti komunikasi gimana sama.
Ya ini udah kayaknya sih udah kena. Kalau biasanya pemain kalau udah kena mental udah nggak ngomong ini. Jadi ini udah komunikasi yang mungkin berantakan juga. Semua berawal dari mental mereka yang udah kena pressure, kayak kill-kill yang harusnya mereka dapat nggak dapat. Itu cuman akan membuat pressure pemain bakal lebih besar, kayak aduh kenapa nggak kena, kenapa nggak kena. Kalau psikologi mereka lagi nggak bagus, itu bakal hanya akan membuat permainan mereka lebih jelek. Dan kelihatannya itu yang terjadi di pertandingan map kedua kali ini. Sekarang mereka masih mencoba untuk nge-squeeze sesuatu. Lu lihat ini Stacks mainnya di sini coy. Dan langsung ada recon tapi nggak kena, tapi dia masih mencoba untuk crossing. Movement yang cukup dipertanyakan oleh Stacks dan berhasil dimanfaatkan oleh Full Sense. Langsung neural theft. Udah ketahuan. Tapi apakah mereka bisa memanfaatkan informasi ini? Mereka langsung mundur mengetahui ada Jet dan juga Sova di arah side A. Dan King di sini rotasi kembali ke arah side B. Lagi-lagi nggak ada mid control dari pemain-pemain Full Sense.
Ya ini sebenarnya sama ketika RB dapetin Lami Stacks di area cave.
Oke. Berarti itu lurkernya ya. Dia mencoba untuk untuk nge-fake kayaknya. Tapi oh no, lihat trap wire-nya nggak dicek. Karena emang nggak pernah ke B di sini pemain-pemain dari Full Sense. Jarang banget John Olsen mampu connect 1 kill. Dan sekarang 3 lawan 3. Bass juga mengeluarkan Bloodstorm-nya. Spike masih belum di-plan. John Olsen terdrop ke 1 HP tentunya. Viper Speed dari Mako. Nampaknya dari Mako benar-benar impactful dan 5 detik. Oh, Bass menutup permainan dengan Bloodstorm. Right click-nya 13-5. Vision Strikers tidak memberikan harapan sama sekali bagi Full Sense untuk at least memenangkan 1.
Cing. Bisanya lu. Kasian banget, Cok. Harinya lagi jelek. Gue sih langsung surrender begitu anjing.